All right. So there we are. Let me mute this phone. Everybody listen to me talk about muting my phone. Good Monday evening, everyone. And thanks for joining us for another, long episode. Do we call them episodes? Roundtable discussion. So this is not really like a show, but, this is a nice, friendly discussion between those who are interested in nutrition and in health. And we do this every Monday night. And what makes this really fun is you can join us on screen with your camera and your device, and you can ask questions in person. You're also welcome to just stay over here in the chat and ask questions that way too. We'll get to them. We usually lag behind on the chat, but we do catch up eventually. So please bear with us. But it's great. It's great to talk face to face, especially using the camera and the voice, and it's a lot of fun. We really enjoy this, and I'm sure you would too. So if you haven't joined us on screen yet, please do. We have room for 10 people at this table. So we've got 3 on the screen, which means we got room for 7 more. And you don't have to be a carnivore. You can have a question about carnivore. You can be keto, animal-based. You could still be on the standard American diet. You could be a vegetarian or vegan. That's fine, as long as you are respectful. We try to be respectful the other way around too. So no criticisms here. We love you all, and we're so glad that you choose to spend your Monday nights with us here on Carnivore Talk. We really, really appreciate that. Makes us so happy. So let's say hi to our on-screen guests right away. We'll start with Paul today. How are you doing, Paul?
Doing good.
Awesome.
Bought some 8515 store ground beef for. I didn't know they had bulk bags in this store, and I found them today, and they're $4 a pound.
Is that your Mennonite store you've been talking about?
Yeah. And
right,
so really, the meat is so nice. I mean, I don't know if they grind it twice or got a special grinder or what, but it just take a hunk and make a patty so nice. It just, love this stuff.
It's that Amish magic.
Yeah, they are a cast of characters. I mean, I commented to an Amish guy one time. I says, "Well, I read in this book it said whatever it was, He says, "Well, if you hadn't read the book, you wouldn't be bothered with that." I go, "Oh, Jesus."
Yeah, you're breaking up
but
a little bit.
A lot of them are very natural people. They believe in, God put milk in the cow. It's for us. You milk. Okay, sorry about that.
No, that's okay.
And you milk the cow and drink the milk. And there's no need for anything else. No pasteurization, no nothing.
I can agree with that. It's kind of like chickens and eggs. What else are chickens for?
In this state, yeah.
Yeah. How's the weather where you're
in this state? You can buy and sell. Fine. A little chillier today, but not a lot.
Uh-huh. We can keep that.
But we don't have snow like Ohio does.
Yeah, we got lots of snow. I could keep the meat outside right now if I wanted to. Let's go over to Geoff. How's things down in Texas? Probably not as hot as usual, right?
No, it's chilly. In fact, it got down to 32 today, and so I went hunting this morning and popped me a nice little doe. So I'll have me some venison in the freezer. But yeah, it's not my kind of weather except for hunting, and that's it. That's the only thing cold weather's good for is hunting.
Mm-hmm. All right.
But I got up at unintentionally. I've been up since 1 o'clock this morning, so I've got a splitting headache now, so I'm pretty tired. I don't know if I'm going to make the whole evening.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry to hear that. Hope the headache clears up. Nice that you got yourself some venison, though. The price you paid for that per pound is the best yet. All right. Very good. All right. So the theme we're going to talk about today is vitamins and supplements. And of course, uh, there's probably not a whole lot to say. So, because on a carnivore diet, animal based foods actually provide almost all the nutrition that your body needs. And only in rare circumstances might you need to supplement something else. Um, for instance, I I don't anymore, but I used to supplement electrolytes, especially during my transition phase back at the beginning of the diet for like the first 6 months or so. Because I would have problems with keeping my balance of salt, magnesium, potassium, and the like. I don't actually have that issue anymore. So for me, that was temporary. I'm usually pretty good as long as I salt to taste. If I happen to go without salt, I do get some potential for Charlie horses in my legs at night when I'm sleeping, which I don't like. So I make sure that as long as I salt to taste every day, I avoid that also at all costs. I avoid that all the time. Boy, I can't even get my words out today. And then what we'll do later, though, is we'll talk about certain carnivore foods that have these electrolytes and other minerals and vitamins in abundance. I also take I take a vitamin D3 supplement because I do live here in the north, and I live in what's called the snow belt of Northeast Ohio. So it's always overcast, especially in the fall, winter, and spring. We only get a little bit of sunshine in the summer. So we don't get a lot of sun exposure. So my vitamin D runs really low. Also does that because of my kidney disease. And so in conjunction with that, I take some vitamin K2. That part I don't really know if I need to. I just know that it goes in hand with vitamin D. You could probably get plenty of vitamin K2 from your food as well, especially if you're the type that gets into the organ meats. And then I take a fish oil pill, specifically EPA, which is erythra. I can't think of the word right now. But there's two types of omega-3s. There's DHA and EPA, and I take an EPA supplement as well. And that's that. That's all I'm taking right now. How about Geoff? What do you take in form of supplements?
Okay, like you, in the beginning, I was flushing out so much electrolytes that I was taking electrolytes. Started off with Element and then switched over to Keto Chow for the cost of it. And then I had an annual physical or biannual physical, and it showed that my potassium levels were in the danger zone. And my doctor specifically asked me, "Are you taking, a mineral supplement?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Stop it now." For somebody who at that time was still fighting a heart condition, that was pretty dangerous for me. So I don't take it anymore, except when I know I'm going to be out in the heat all day working hard. I will. I keep some Element on hand just for those times, because otherwise I am going to be cramping up in the evenings, and it helps me get through the day. So once in a while, as needed, it helps me. I do take a vitamin D3 K2. Even though I'm in the sun a lot, it's generally just my arms, my face, my neck that's in the sun, and I ride a motorcycle a lot. So once again, my arms and my face and my neck. So I don't think I get enough sun. It's not like I go around, half naked all the time. So I do take vitamin D3 with K2, and I do take a CoQ10, which my understanding is, being a meat eater, I don't necessarily need to take one, but I'm in the habit of taking one, because I had a heart condition for so long that it's a habit now that I take it. And to the best of my knowledge, it's not hurting me. So I just continue taking it. I may be wasting my money. I don't know. Here recently, I started a new one. I'm probably going to say it wrong. Sarcopene, I believe it's called.
That sounds right.
I watched a video with Nick Norris, and he was talking about sarcopenia, which I believe I have sarcopenia. I've been losing muscle, and due to my age. And then when a couple of weeks ago, I was sick for about 6 days intestinally, and I couldn't eat, had no appetite. I basically fasted for 5 or 6 days, and I ended up dropping 6 pounds that I couldn't afford to lose. And I also noticed that it looked like I'd lost a lot of muscle. Well, so here I'm thinking about that, and then Nick comes along with this video, and they were talking about taking a supplement for that. And so I found one, and I've started taking it, and I'm going to see if that helps with my muscle loss, helps bring back some of my muscle. Of course, that's still going to require that I work out to do that, but I'm experiment with that, see what I do with that. I'm trying to think. I don't think I take any other supplements other than that. D3. I think that's pretty much it. And I don't know, to be honest, I don't know how much of that I really need to take. I suppose I could stop taking it and see what happens, as a N of 1 experiment. But as long as it's not hurting me, I don't see any reason to stop it right now.
Yeah, that's true. You mentioned CoQ10. So I'm gonna go back and say hi at the beginning of the comments in a minute, but this comment's the most recent, and it was very relative. So Sharon Esterson says, CoQ10 is necessary on statins, and few doctors recommend it for shame. So yeah, that is true. So if you are taking a statin, you should also be taking some CoQ10, because the statin gets in there and messes a lot of stuff up. And one of it is it inhibits the CoQ10, either production or absorption. I'm not sure which, but I do know that if you take a statin, you want to supplement CoQ10 as well. And you mentioned vitamin D, and I take vitamin D, you take vitamin D. Now, I take 10,000 IUs a day, and I would not recommend that to most people. And the reason I take so much is because of my chronic kidney disease, I spill vitamin D, or at least I spill the proteins that the vitamin D would bind to. So I struggled for the longest time. When I started my carnivore diet, my vitamin D was 10, 11 on the scale. And I've been supplementing 10,000 a day. I take 5,000 pills, or 5,000 each, international units. And I take 5,000 with my first meal, and I take 5,000 with my second meal. So I'm taking 2 vitamin D pills a day for a total of 10,000. And I've been doing that now for going on 3 years, and my vitamin D is still only at about 55. That's the highest I can get it. And so in my case, I'm nowhere near vitamin toxicity, but I have had friends locally and who were taking just 2,000 IUs of vitamin D a day, and they got up to 120, and their doctor said, you need to put the brakes on that, because their vitamin D shot up. But unlike me, it was also summertime, and they were out, mowing yards on the side and with their shirt off. So they were outside all day long.
They're getting a lot of natural.
So they're getting a lot of sun. So they had to cut back theirs because they were getting into that toxic levels. So vitamin D can be dangerous. So I would, when you start supplementing if you're going to do, I'll take that back. If you're going to do small doses, like, 2,000 or less a day, you probably don't have to do any testing. Unless you spend a lot of time in the sun, like this friend of mine did. If you are going to take large doses, then you should order a vitamin D. I think it's called a vitamin D25, but that tests your vitamin D levels, and check them periodically. Every 3 months or so as you supplement to see if you're safe at that level or if you need to scale back because you're getting too much of it. So that's something that you would want to monitor for vitamin D. So yeah, vitamin D, be careful with, and if you're on a statin, definitely take that CoQ10 as well.
I think I do 5,000 IUs is what I'm doing on mine. Oh, and I forgot, I do take magnesium. I was taking magnesium glyphosate, hoping it would help out with some RLS, and it doesn't seem to help me with that. And I will still get cramps once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
That's more, it doesn't seem to help much with that either, at least not that I can tell. When I run out of this bottle, I'm going to quit taking the glyphosate and see what it does. I also do take a magnesium citrate, and that's for me for better BMs, because I do still have some issues in that area. That's something that it doesn't matter how much fat I eat. Between having IBS for over 30 years and not having a gallbladder, my system still is not right. Carnivore hasn't fixed it, so I still have to deal with constipation, and so I've learned to regulate it with magnesium citrate.
All right, Paul, I saw you trying to jump back in here, and I don't know if you're now you're gone, but if you want to try again, as soon as I see your video, I'll add you to the screen. And that's true with anybody else. You got the link pinned in the top. If you want to join us on screen and tell us about your supplements, that would be great. Now we're going to go say to the beginning of the chat and say hi to people. So first up, while we were waiting for the live stream to start, we have Sandy. Takes the #1 spot again. She usually does beat everyone to the punch. And early bird she is. So good to see you, Sandy. Glad you're here. And then Paul, who was on the screen, and I'm sure he'll be back. He reminds us to hit the thumbs up. And thanks for saying that, because I always forget to ask that. Hit the thumbs up button, and that'll help push YouTube to make this show up before more eyes, and maybe we get some more reach. So that would be great if everybody could hit that thumbs up button. That would be awesome. And then here's Rick from Miami. How you doing, Rick? Good to see you. Feel free to join us too if you would like. And then we got Linda. And here's George Goodenough. And here's another Linda. This one's from Michigan, right to my north. I'm right here in Northeast Ohio myself. And here's Aaron and Brian Fly Fisherman Dish. And you said hi to Sharon Esterson already. And here's Brisket Boomers, Terry B from North Carolina. Glad you could join us. Always a challenge to keep up with the chat. Yes, it is. And Rick would know, because he does a live on Saturday at 8 a.m. and it goes on indefinitely. It goes on. Sometimes it goes on to lunch. Sometimes it goes on to way past lunch. So I always want to take an opportunity to shout out other channels. Rick is one that you want to go see on the weekend for sure. David B is in the house. Glad you're here. And I see here comes Paul trying to reconnect. The suspense. There we go. We have an image. So we'll go ahead and add him to the screen here.
Okay.
All right. Welcome back. Sandy Blythe says, hello, tonight in North Florida is in the high 20s. Boy, it's chilly all over the country. Geoff's saying 32 in Texas. We got 20s in Florida. It's about 30 degrees here in Ohio, too. So, yeah, the cold snap is blanketing the whole country here. All right. Let's see here. And, yeah, cold front is there in Miami. I may be able to turn off my air conditioner. Oh, yeah, turn off my air conditioner tonight. All right. And Jonathan, good to see you again, Jonathan. And Coach Juliet Edens. Let's see if I've missed anybody here. I intentionally keep mine above 100. It's tricky knowing how to manage it with 2 tests a year. So that's you're talking about the vitamin D, I imagine. And yeah, that's I believe they start freaking out once it's the doctors will start freaking out once it hits about 120. Yeah. And let's take a moment to welcome David B to the screen. How you doing, David? Doing good. So you're a little quiet. You're a little quiet. Do you have the YouTube window still open?
Doing good.
Yeah, that gets rid of the echo in the background when you close the YouTube window or mute the video. And I don't have any volume from you.
Got no volume.
That's a little better when you lean closer.
Okay. I'm kind of like Geoff. It's a long day myself, so I may not be here forever. Anyway, do you want to hear what supplements I take?
Super quiet. I can hardly make that out.
Oh, can you hear it now?
Barely.
Barely. Wow.
Barely. Yeah, barely. Yeah, there's a in the settings you can try and switch microphones or test your microphone. See if that won't help. In the meantime, let's see here. We got Kitchen Witch. How you doing? Thought it was Tuesday. No, it's Monday. Does that mean you almost missed us? All right. And let's see here. And here's one from David B. You said, I had the worst leg cramps last week. I blame it on some extra coffee I drank, probably flushed out more electrolytes than my body was used to. I have since increased the electrolytes. All right. So that's exactly how I handle it. So I don't typically take electrolytes, but when it's bad, when I do have a day and I can just, for some reason, I just can tell that I'm prone to cramping that day or that night, that's my solution. That's when I'll go mix an LMNT, or I have a comparable product I got off of Amazon, and I'll take some electrolytes, and then I'm able to usually that stuff does it, and I'm able to sleep through the night. So that happens about, for me, probably about once a month. Again, if I stick to my salt, make sure I'm getting my salt every day, usually happen. So, all right. So I'm still getting feedback from, I'm getting background noise or feedback from you, David. Okay. All right. He muted himself. So, okay. All right. And then Sandy, love being here. Love to have you here. Glad you're enjoying it. Here's a good comment here. Dr. Boz recommended putting a tablespoon of milk of magnesia in your water and sip on it all day for some good magnesium. It's helping me sleep. That's an interesting idea. So I would have never thought of that. But yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. Milk of magnesia. I just remember my parents used to give me that for some reason when I was a kid.
What kind of magnesium is in that? Because there's so many different kinds. Some are absorbable and some aren't.
I'm going to Google it. Milk of magnesia. What kind?
I think it's the magnesium magnate or the citrate, one of the two.
So it says treatment for constipation, so that makes sense.
So then that would probably be citrate. Yeah.
It's composed of it says it's composed of magnesium hydroxide.
Okay.
That's interesting. Okay. I don't even think I've heard of that magnesium. I've got a bottle of a magnesium complex that I take from time to time. If when I remember, or if I think I'm going to be prone to cramping, and that's got like magnesium taurate, magnesium lactate, magnesium malate, the magnesium glycinate. I don't take the citrate because I don't have any problems in the bathroom department, and I've always heard that the one you want to avoid is magnesium oxide. I've heard that you usually, if it's something oxide, it's oxidized, and you usually want to avoid it. So magnesium hydroxide, though, that'd be something different altogether. But I would completely trust Dr. Boz too. So I'm sure she knows exactly what she's talking about. So I wouldn't worry about that. All right. The Caped Crusader is about to join the ranks of the Carnivore Avengers. And Rick is still live from last Saturday. That's hilarious. He's still live. All right. Freethinker59 says, "Hi, Bob and Geoff. Love your show. I found you through Rick." Yeah, Rick's a good friend. He's been very nice to mention us on Saturdays. Sometimes restream when sometimes he joins us and he restreams it too. And yeah, and that's another thing we like about Rick is he does believe in that, sharing the love, spreading the information among the smaller YouTube channels. And we do that here too. So if you've got a YouTube channel and we haven't shouted you out in the past, let me know, and we will make sure that we'll post a link to your channel as well. All right. Let's see here. Rockin' Coach Amy is in the house, says hi to all of us. And how are you doing for recovery? So hopefully you're back to normal, back on your feet. So, and I still need to send you a photo for my Avenger. And sorry, I keep forgetting. All right. Let's see here. Freethinkers are new in the chat, but has been watching the show for a few months and is from Central Florida. Okay, welcome. I'd say are you down there and enjoying this cold snap like the rest of us? We have a couple Floridians in here said that it's gotten pretty cold down there as well. Let's see here. And the milk of magnesium that Linda was talking about is helping her sleep. That's good. Rick says, I'm only on smaller channels as I'm on YouTube to meet people. So basically anymore, me too. I like to support the smaller channels. I do have my big influencers, particularly there's certain key doctors. I do make sure to watch all their content, and because I learn from them. And then, but for the most part, I do like the social interaction here that we get here. Speaking of social interaction, it's 8:30, so every 30 minutes or so, I do like to remind everybody that you too can join us on the screen right here as our guest and co-commentator. And all you have to do is click this link that I just pasted in the chat, and you can join us on screen. And it would be great to have you here. Let's see here. Coach Juliet Eden says, I'm 5 away from 3K subs. That's just crazy. I think it's all bots. You know what? I am I'm 65 or 70. I looked at my channel and it said, 2.93K. So I'm almost right there with you, about to hit the 3K mark. And that'll be exciting. So And are they all bots? I don't know. I have no way of telling. So let's see here. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, and you can do that, click that like button, subscribe, and help me hit that 3K goal. That'll be awesome. All right, so we're caught up on comments here. And I was thinking also along the lines of supplements. There might be unique situations where you might want to supplement. And that is like if you are knowingly deficient in something, so sometimes if you're on the standard American diet all your life and you get on carnivore, even you can get a blood panel and see where your different lab values are, and they might not be right where you need them yet. Can carnivore get you there on most of them? Just about. And so you might want to until you do, you could supplement, and that would be fine. If you are an athlete, that's where you're probably going to lean more on the electrolytes as well, because you're going to be, working out, generating a lot of sweat, losing a lot of water, and you have to replenish electrolytes that way as well. And let's see here.
And a lot of athletes and people just working out in general like to take creatine, to help themselves out. And I can see where somebody who's eating a extremely poor, sad diet all their lives, they could have all kinds of metabolic issues that their body just can't recover from, and the diet just isn't going to fix it anymore. They're just too far gone, and they may have to supplement stuff. But, everybody's got to find out that for themselves, be their own N of one, and figure out what it's going to take to get them over the hump.
And there's always one particular vitamin that always comes up when you mention you're on a carnivore diet. Someone know what that vitamin is? Type that in the comments. And
A, B, C.
Yeah, your options are A, B, or C. Yeah, that's right. And let's see here. We got Bill Cook typed it first. Yeah, vitamin C is everybody's concern.
I'm still waiting on that scurvy.
Right. And so, that's kind of a unique one. So with vitamin C, the common mainstream knowledge is that you will not get any vitamin C in your meat. That is actually false. So ruminant muscle meat, and actually the muscle meats of other animals as well, does contain small amounts of vitamin C. And when you are a fat adapted carnivore, you don't need as much of the vitamin C as the government's RDA says you need. And there's a reason for that.
Why is that?
I'm willing to explain it, but if you'd like to take the helm there and explain it.
No, go ahead.
All right.
I just wanted to make sure that you did explain it.
Okay. So the reason for that is because in the human body, the receptors that take up vitamin C are the same receptors that would take up glucose. And so if you're on the standard American diet, those receptors are basically in competition, and you're probably consuming so much carbohydrate that your receptors are constantly uptaking carbohydrate and not uptaking as much of the vitamin C as you might need.
Yeah, glucose competes for it.
Right? So if you don't thrive on, if you don't feed your metabolism carbohydrates as an energy source, and you're fat, and you do the carnivore diet, you do the keto diet, keep those carbs low, there's no competition. So the vitamin D that you do consume, even if it's in trace amounts, you're going to absorb all of it because you're not thriving off of the glucose like you were when you were a carb burner. Now you're a fat burner, and those glucose receptors are able to take up the vitamin C, whereas before they were too busy taking up glucose that they couldn't take up the vitamin C. And so as a carnivore or a ketovore or someone on a very low carb, keto type diet, you do not need as much vitamin C as you did back when you took when you were eating the standard American diet. So when you were eating junk food, yeah, you had to take, maybe, well, you either had to eat a bunch of citrus fruit, or you had to take maybe 500 milligram pills. Is it milligrams they serve it in? I can't remember. Take some 500s, of vitamin C, and you wouldn't even absorb all of that. Most of that would just pass right through you because, again, your receptors are competing for it. But you would need to get the vitamin C you'd have to supplement or eat a lot of citrus fruit. That's not the case with a carnivore diet. There is vitamin C in muscle meat. There's actually more vitamin C in organ meats. So if you are the type that are able to include some liver, kidney, heart, spleen, what have you into your diet, then you're definitely going to get the vitamin C that your body requires, and probably more so too. So,
and I did save the heart, the liver, and the kidneys from this deer I took this morning. So,
all right,
I am one of them people. It's my understanding on the vitamin C deal that we've all heard the story of how they discovered vitamin C deficiency from the English sailors. That the reason why we use the term limeys to refer to Englishmen is because they found that by taking limes on board the ship, they prevented scurvy. But I don't know where I saw this. I want to say it might have been Dr. Berry, but I'm not positive. But anyways, it's my understanding that what the deal is they discovered that it was only the sailors that were getting the scurvy. The officers weren't. So why were the officers not getting it, but the sailors were? Well, because the officers actually had stores of meat, dried meat, preserved meat, but they ate meat all the time. Whereas the sailors, they lived basically on a diet of grains, hardtack, and biscuits and stuff like that. And so that would be the difference. And that right there would show you that which diet is the best one to prevent scurvy.
Yeah, that's very true. Very good. All right. Okay, David, try and say something.
Is it any better now?
Yes.
There you
go. All right.
Very good.
I switched to my cell phone. I don't know why my laptop wasn't cooperating, but
okay. All right.
anyway.
All right. Well, glad to have you on the
glad
live
you
stream.
can hear me now, and glad I'm not reverberating your broadcast.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's you sound very clear. Glad to have you. Where are you calling in from?
A very cold Louisville, Kentucky.
Okay. All right. You're not too
How
far.
you been doing, David?
Good, Geoff. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you. I feel you about the sleep. I got up early myself, and I've had a long day. So I don't know how long I'm going to last either. But
I was going to get up early anyways because I was going hunting. But one of my dogs, who thinks she is the protector of all, she cut loose about 1 o'clock this morning and just would not shut up. And we lost a goat earlier in the week to coyotes, and it was more than likely probably coyotes prowling the place, but if she so much as hears a noise, it could be one of the cats out and hunting rats in the pasture, she's going to cut loose. And boy, she woke me up and I couldn't go back to sleep. Now I'm paying for it.
That wasn't your Judas goat, was it?
Yes, it was.
Oh man, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you knew him. You met him.
I was telling somebody about your Judas goat just the other day.
Yeah. He was the one. He was already pretty old, but he had gotten sick.
Oh.
And we had medicated him, and he had a film over his eyes. He'd gotten a film over his eyes, and he couldn't see very well.
Mm.
And we were keeping him close to the barn before we went in for the evening. We put him in the barn, and during the night he wandered out of the barn. As long as they stay in the barn, they don't have anything to fear. The coyotes aren't bold enough. But he wandered out of the barn, and we found him the next day in the pasture, in one of the pastures, and yeah, they got him.
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, he went hard, but it is what it is. That's what happens.
Did you find him, or is he just completely gone?
No, we found him. Yeah, and that's just, coyotes got to eat too. If I had a thermal scope, I'd have set up for him. I'd have set up over him all night and taken some of them out, but I don't have a thermal scope. They're a little on the pricey side. But you ain't going to stop them. All you can do is guard against them.
Yeah.
All right. Very good. Some comments here that are relative. Or not, this one's actually not relative. This was kind of interesting. So Foxy Joe says, I've been studying the blood pressure medication lisinopril and metoprolol connection. I've never had type 2 until I started those two meds. Geoff, didn't you used to take one of those?
Yeah, I was on metoprolol back before I reversed my my heart condition. And that was the first one that my doctor took me off of shortly after I became a carnivore. I was, 2 months, 3 months in as a carnivore, and my blood pressure on a walk dropped down to, what was it? 77 over 54 during a walk. And I had to get a ride home because I kept trying to pass out. And my doctor took me off that metoprolol. My blood pressure has been beautiful ever since. But, carnivore brought it down naturally, and the metoprolol was taking it down unnaturally. So, yeah, I'm off of that stuff.
Okay, interesting. I'd be curious what your research is coming up with. It's interesting because I just asked AI, and it says metoprolol has been associated with the increased risk of developing new onset type 2 diabetes in people without a prior diagnosis. So that's interesting. And we could probably check the other one also. So I guess there is that possibility. I'm sure it doesn't happen to everyone, but apparently it does happen to some. Interesting. So I'd be pretty bummed if a medication I was put on actually caused me to develop diabetes. So, Amy, do you take lisinopril or metoprolol? You were raising your hand.
Pearl. When I was diagnosed at age, I think 38 with high blood pressure, I was 220 over 110 when I was diagnosed. My mom is on 8 different medications. One of them, whatever that word is. She's on that one. She's on 8 different medications.
All for blood pressure?
All for blood pressure. And I think she's got, your parents, they don't always tell you the truth, especially when they're 80 and they don't want you like being a helicopter mom over them. But I know she's got kidney and heart issues because she has gone to the emergency room for over a week with swelling. Like when your body swells because you're retaining water because your kidneys and heart aren't functioning. And that's congestive heart failure. I know, I'm not stupid. My grandma had that. And she's on 8 different water pills. She's on all kinds of stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah, one of those 2 reasons is going to be the cause. So, like, my mom will have swelling in her legs and ankles, and that's through they call that congestive heart failure. And then I will sometimes get swelling in my ankles, but that's because I have stage 4/5 chronic kidney disease. So if I sit here and I guzzle fluids rapidly, I can't excrete the fluids, as efficiently as well. So that they do collect on me. And sometimes my legs will do that. You can push on it with your thumb and then take the pressure off, and the indent stays there for a while. That's usually means you got too much liquid inside you. So that I can do that. I can do that sometimes if I've been drinking too much. And when I say drinking too much, I don't mean hitting the bottle of whiskey. I mean drinking water or diet soda or something like that too. So just wanted to clarify that.
So I got a weird one. When I go deep sea fishing and I'm out, I'll go deep sea fishing. I might be out on the water for 36 hours or better. And when I come back, I can't even put my shoes on. My ankles swell up so much. And now that was pre-carnivore. I haven't been deep sea fishing since I became a carnivore. So I'd be curious to know if that has changed in my system.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to know. All right. So on terms of, so I still take high blood pressure medication, and again, I have to because of my kidney disease. So I take none of those. Those are what you're talking about are ACE inhibitors, right? I think that's what those are. I take the angiotensin receptor blockers, or ARBs, and so I am taking olmesartan. It's a new one. I used to take losartan potassium. Now it's olmesartan. Begins with an M. I can't remember the word. And then I also take nebivolol, which is a beta blocker. So I got an ARB and I got a beta blocker, and those are the ones what I do to keep my blood pressure down in somewhat of a better area. I can't get it down to like normal. Maybe I would if I took 8 medications, but I was like, wow. The doctors talked about putting me on more, but I'm trying to avoid that because, we try and avoid taking medications if we don't have to. Bill Cook asks, what vitamin or mineral to get my tinnitus to go away?
I don't know, but if anybody's got a solution, let me know.
So I've heard that therapeutic use of vitamin B12 and vitamin D. So make sure you're getting your vitamin D and vitamin B12. That should be something you're getting in plenty of quantities in your carnivore diet.
I've heard of people improving their tinnitus, through carnivore.
Yeah.
It hasn't helped mine.
Yeah. Let's see here. How much B12 in a carnivore diet? Yeah, I mean, it should be plenty. I just don't know. I know most of your B vitamins. B12, that's the one that the vegetarians don't get anything, right?
Yeah.
That's the only. Yeah. So, okay. So check this out. So ground beef has 100% of your recommended daily allowance. Beef liver has 2,946% of your recommended daily allowance. So your top sources, beef liver is the king of vitamin B12, and which makes sense. That's actually beef liver is going to be a feature of our discussion tonight, because we're talking about some vitamins and minerals and what kind of supplements you should take. You just supplement beef liver. Even if that's desiccated beef liver in a pill form, that's okay. That's like nature's vitamin right there. So if anything that you might not get quite enough of from your muscle meat, which you probably do, you have a little bit of liver and you've sealed the deal, man. You're good to go. Beef, salmon actually has twice as much as beef. And then you got tuna, lamb, and sardines. Sardines actually has twice as much as the salmon. So those, number 1 is beef liver. Number 2 is sardines. Number 3 is salmon. Number 4 is lamb. And number 5 is ground beef. Get all the vitamin B12 you can get. I've also heard the vitamin D. And then other things I've heard that we probably wouldn't even touch would be like melatonin, turmeric, grapeseed extract, things like that. You could maybe try and experiment with. I don't know if I would. But we're getting out of vitamins and minerals, and we're kind of getting into, whatever you want to call that kind of supplementation. So, you know, alternative medicine. There's a word for it. It's escaping me right now because I am also tired, but I don't have any good reason. I didn't get up to go hunt. I didn't. I got up early to go to work. And that's for sure. I put in a long day today, but I was actually distracted last night and stayed up way too late playing a video game. So that's where my sleep has gone. Foxy Joe says, if you eat bull's testicles the size of oranges, vitamin C will be taken care of. Is that true, or is that a joke?
I don't know, but
just because he said oranges, and we know oranges are a source of vitamin C.
as a Texan and somebody who's done his share of cowboying, one of my jobs on roundups was castrating the calves.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, we did keep the testes on ice, and the women folk prepared them for lunch. And so we'd have them with gravy for lunch.
So bull testicles actually,
they're really good.
There's actually a name for bull testicles that's not just bull testicles.
We call them calf fries, but
there's a nickname for them. Do you know what those are?
Rocky Mountain oysters?
Yes, blue. Is it blue mountain oysters or just mountain oysters? I think it's blue mountain oysters.
Oh,
yeah. So yeah, that's true. So and then Sandy in the chat said the same thing. So mountain oysters, Rocky. Oh, that's Rocky Mountain oysters. That's
Rocky Mountain oysters. Yeah.
And Rick, yeah, they chimed in with Rocky Mountain oysters. Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah,
here.
Down here we just call them calf fries, but they are good if you can just get past the idea.
I can give my testimony of what has helped the ringing in my ears.
Oh, sure. So it's a Kilt's Health bottle. What is it there? Is that that's beef liver. So that would make sense because beef liver's got all that B12. So there's a logical connection there.
So I just cannot eat liver. I just can't. But when I started taking this, it helped.
Good deal.
It really did help.
And with how much there is in beef liver, that's when I looked it up, it said a therapeutic use or therapeutic doses of B12. That tells me that would be like you're higher than average, And so him, by taking the desiccated liver capsules, he's getting a therapeutic dose of B12. So it might be worth trying to those of you that have the tinnitus.
Have you tried grinding it up in hamburger? That's how I eat it.
I tried that. It ruined my hamburger.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I have one of those KitchenAid mixers with the little grinder attachment on top, and I just throw the liver in there, and it squirts it out the other end, and then I mix it with 2 to 3 pounds of liver, and I have a liver burger maybe once every week or every couple weeks. I know you're not supposed to eat liver every day. I don't think it's required, but a couple times a month I'll have a liver burger just to make sure I'm getting that.
Yeah, I tried that. It just didn't work for me. So, and I don't take this every day. Maybe twice a week. I take 3 or 4 capsules, so I don't overdo it.
I'm not a big liver eater myself, just straight liver. Now, I did notice that the liver I got from my calves, it's sweeter than any calf liver I've ever had. It's the first liver. I cooked some up. I was making some liverwurst because that's how we eat our livers, is in the form of liverwurst or a pate. But I'd cooked some up for some liverwurst, and I thought, well, this is off of my cows. Let me try some out. And I took a chunk and I ate it, and I couldn't believe it. It was good. That's some of the first liver I've ever eaten straight up that I really enjoyed, with nothing on it. It was just plain, and but it had a sweet taste to it. It was pretty tasty.
Well, I'm not surprised. No telling what they feed some of these. When you buy something, you buy calf liver at Walmart.
Yeah.
what has that animal been fed? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
So I like liver and onions at a restaurant. You know, I usually go to the restaurant and get liver and onions, and it's good. I remember when I was a kid, my dad would make liver and onions. It was good. I've tried to make it at home twice now, and once I fried it in bacon grease till it was well done, and that was fine, and had some bacon overtones to it. And then someone told me one time that you should eat it rare or medium rare, so I took one once and just seared it. Absolutely hated it. I couldn't gag that thing down. But then I've also tried a little bit of raw liver, and I thought it was actually really good. So it's kind of confusing, almost paradoxically. So now I've got some chicken livers in the freezer that I got about a month ago now, but I haven't thawed them out and made them. And because I've heard some people say that the chicken livers are more tolerable. So
they are. They're milder, a lot milder. My wife cooks them all the time. She'll saute hers in butter and garlic.
Bill Cook says, never had kidney. Neither have I.
It's good stuff.
I've had someone say, and I don't know if I don't think I believe this one bit, but someone told me that since I have kidney disease, I should eat more kidney. That supposedly that would be beneficial. That sounds like hocus pocus to me. But I wouldn't rule out trying it. I'm willing to try anything. I'm willing to try, kidney, heart, spleen, and the like. I just usually don't get around to it because I'm too lazy to look up a recipe and try and prepare.
Spleen is no big deal. I'm not a big fan of spleen, mostly just because of the texture. It's real soft and kind of mushy. Not a whole lot of flavor to it. But I do like the kidneys. I save the kidneys from all my animals. Kidneys, heart, and liver. I was a little disappointed in myself. Went for a long shot, and I got lung, but I did clip the heart just a little bit. So I lost a little bit of the heart, but just a touch.
Mm-hmm. Amy asked, "Is it me or do I look like a ghost?" I think when you had another light on and it was blowing you out. So
I still look pale. I am pale though because I don't get enough sun, and right now we have a blizzard here in northern Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
So you
had the other light on, and now that I see that you already commented on that too. So it does look more natural without the bright light illuminating you, and maybe it was also the contrast with the lipstick that everybody's commenting about in the chat too. Everybody seems to love your lipstick, so.
Look like a cadaver with my pale skin.
All right. Okay, let's see here. And here's George from across the pond.
Welcome.
How you doing, George?
Hi. Yeah, I'm doing very well, thanks. How is everybody?
By
the way, you look great, Amy. Don't worry about looking like a ghost. You look fine.
We're all cold over here because we had a cold snap. How's things over there in the UK?
Yeah, it's today was very wet but warm. But I think I was saying earlier to somebody that when the USA sneezes, the UK catches a cold. We tend to get your weather about 5 days after you guys, and it comes across on the westerlies across the Atlantic. And oddly enough, the weather forecast is for a very cold weekend. So we are going to get what Amy's been posting on Facebook today. I don't think we're going to get the snow, but it is going to get significantly colder at the weekend when I'm hosting a meetup. So that's great, isn't it? But such is life. And there's Lewis. All right. So there we go. So I've got a couple of things that I can pick up on if you would like me to, or do you want me to wait? I don't mind.
Well, that's up to you. Is it related to vitamins and supplements?
Yes, absolutely. Both of them are. Both of them are actually vitamins in this case.
Well, sure.
The first one being the scurvy. I noticed we were talking about scurvy earlier, and the guy that I want to chuck into the mix is the Surgeon General of Napoleon's French army back at the turn of the 19th century. So, the year is 1801 anyway. And there was in Egypt, there was a French army under siege in Alexandria. It was called the Siege of Alexandria of 1801, which versus the ancient one, which a long time before was Alexander the Great. So there was a massive outbreak of scurvy in the French army. And the Surgeon General who was there at the time was a guy called Dominic Jean Larrey. And he discovered that if he fed his troops fresh horse meat, then the scurvy would go away. And obviously, if he actually fed them fresh horse meat in advance, then they didn't go down with scurvy. So he was really responsible for the popularity of horse meat in France. I have eaten horse meat in France myself, and it's still it's not as common as it used to be, but it's still there. So yeah, Dominic Jean Larrey from the Napoleon's Surgeon General. He was one of the heroes of our past, if you like. So yeah, anybody who tries to tell you that as carnivores we're going to get scurvy, just refer them to me or tell them to go and look up that particular guy. So that's a fairly serious fact. A bit of a fun fact now about vitamin B12. I can't remember what it was. It was 2 weeks ago. We were talking about possums, also opossum meat, and I remembered I looked it up then, and apparently 85 grams of opossum meat, which is about 3 ounces, contains 294% of the recommended daily allowance for B12 in the human being. So that's just a bit of a fun fact that the opossum apparently is a really good source of vitamin B12. And my take on offal, yeah, I've eaten a lot of liver and a lot of kidney in my time. So it's I've got quite a lot of experience of that. Eat a lot of heart as well, and I like all of the offal. Because I've been eating a lot of raw steak recently, I'm going to be trying raw liver in the not too distant future, which I will. Amy's putting a face, which I will be reporting on. But I've got to do it very, very out the way from Lainey, because Lainey, my wife, A, doesn't like me eating raw steak, but she's kind of getting used to it, and B, she doesn't even like cooking liver. So I've got to make sure that I do it out of the sight of Lainey, otherwise I'll find myself out on my ear in the street, I think. So there we go. That's brought you up to date with what I came on to say, but I shall hang on and join in the fun as always. So there we go.
All right. Awesome. Thanks for that information here. And then let's say hi to Lewis. How you doing?
I'm good, guys. How's it going?
Good. We hide the comments so we can see everybody's names. All right. How about you? Are you bearing this cold snap with the rest of us where you're located?
Oh, in New York? Yeah, it's gonna be cold tomorrow, but maybe 37. So nothing super crazy. No snow yet.
Okay.
So that's good.
Yeah, we got snow here in Ohio. Mm-hmm. And you are right, George. Everything seems to blow from west to east, blows across our country and then across the ocean, and then it hits you. So
yeah, we get the tail end of the storms, the big storms. They're sort of hurricanes with you, but by the time they get across the Atlantic, they just they become what they call a named storm. And we've had 2 so far. We've had the A and the B so far this winter. So we're just waiting for the next one to come, which might be the one which it might get a name as it comes across the Atlantic at the weekend. So I'll let you guys know.
All right. Let's see here. Foxy Joe mentioned there are brand new studies that show a possible correlation between lisinopril and type 2. So we looked up the metoprolol had the connection, and I didn't look up the lisinopril. So both of them
for a while.
Both of them can be related to the fresh onset of type 2 diabetes. So yeah, I'd be kind of bummed too. That's good to know. Because I'll stick with the ARBs. So, and
that's a high blood pressure medication that they released in the media that was linked to cancer as well. I can't remember which one it was, but within a few months, they just came out, and the manufacturer of the medication actually admitted that it's linked to cancer. I can't remember. Now I got to find it.
Yeah, no, that was in the news just this last week, wasn't it?
Recent. Of course, remember, my brain's been wiped with anesthesia recently, so A week might be a month. I don't know.
Yeah.
An hour might be a day.
Let's see here. Prazosin hydrochloride capsules. That's
That's
what it
it.
is.
That was it. Yep.
Yeah. I've never had that either. I have had hydrochlorothiazide. That was awful. I got off of that immediately. Like that just that made me not want to function in any capacitive way whatsoever, and I'd wake up with the worst dry mouth, and I was like, I ain't taking this no more. Get rid of it. So I try and stay away from all the thiazides. Been okay with the ARBs though. They haven't affected me. Let's see here. Duke the fifth, or Duke 5, or Duque 5. Hi Bob, what do you think of taking BUN, blood urea nitrogen lowering meds with chronic kidney disease like febuxostat? I don't know too much about it. I know that febuxostat is primarily for gout, but it helps you lower the uric acid, and so that's why it lowers BUN as well. I would have to look up the potential side effects because I'm scared to death of medications. Okay, medications are why I have chronic kidney disease. And then when I lost a lot of weight on my carnivore diet, my triglycerides spiked into the 3000s. And the carnivore doctors are like, a better prediction of heart attack risk is your triglyceride to HDL ratio. And I had a triglycerides of 3000 and an HDL of 16. I was like, I'm already dead. And so I panicked, and so did my PCP, and I was put on fenofibrate. The fenofibrate did that for a year and made my kidney disease worse. And I'm still recovering from that. And so I'm like deathly afraid of all medication. So I would look up the febuxostat and see if it's metabolized by the kidney. I mean, it's probably excreted by the kidney, that's for sure. I would research that to death, and not just on like, Google or Bing, but I would be on, believe it or not, Wikipedia. I found good information on fenofibrate on Wikipedia. But PubMed, I'd hit the PubMed database, put that in there, and read studies and do things like febuxostat, chronic kidney disease, febuxostat, kidney function. Use those kind of keywords too. And I would research it to death because like I will never take another medication again without researching it to death. I don't care what the PCP says. I'm scared to death. Now, that being said, I am someone with chronic kidney disease, stage 4 or stage 5, depending on which metric you want to use. And I am on a carnivore diet, which flies in the face of mainstream medicine because they all say, if you have kidney disease, you need to lower your sodium and you need to eat minimal protein, and especially not animal protein. And that you need to eat a lot of fruit and vegetables. So here I am, guzzling salt, eating nothing but meat, and eschewing fruits and vegetables. But I've managed to stall my kidney decline. And I was actually showing little improvements for a while before the fenofibrate debacle. So, that's a gamble I'm willing to take. And so far, I think I've made the smart decision. So I know a lot of people who have reversed their kidney disease a stage or 2, and some even back to normal, which is why I'm doing it. And then I also know a lot of people who go on what's a so-called renal diet, and they continue to get sicker, weaker, lose kidney function. Next thing you know, they're on dialysis and on the transplant list. So I looked at both of those things, and I was like, well, you know what? I'm going to do the opposite of what mainstream medicine says, because I see this not working out for these people, and these carnivores over here are touting the benefits that their kidneys have experienced. So that's what I would do. But yeah, I would just look up the febuxostat, research it to death. My bun is over 100, but I'm not worried about it. So I'm not worried about the blood urea nitrogen. I'm not worried about my creatinine. yes, they are waste products from the breakdown of protein, both of them, but they're actually not doing any harm circulating in my body. And I don't get gout. I had a gout attack before I did carnivore and on my standard American diet. But ever since I've been carnivore, I've never had a gout attack, and my BUN has gone through the roof because of all the protein I eat. So I'm just not convinced. My experience has been the opposite. So take that as you will. This is not medical advice. I am not a doctor, and I'm certainly not your doctor. So I'm just relating my personal experience. Let's see.
That's
here.
really good to hear.
Yeah. Let's see. That's the same question here. Stage 3B for me, according to EGFR, I'm carnivore. Yeah. And when I was diagnosed, I was stage 4. After the phenofibrate incident, I'm considered stage 5. EGFR of 13. But if I do a cystatin C, the EGFR comes back 24, which keeps me back in stage 4, not stage 5. And if I do a 24-hour urine test, that also puts me in stage 4 and not stage 5. So, and I'm carnivore now for 2.5 years. So I started in May of 23. And I still think that's what's keeping me alive, or keeping my kidneys alive at this point, is by not eating man-made junk food for the most part. All right.
I tell you what, getting off the man-made junk food has just healed my body up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you've heard me talk in the past. I'm not anti-plant. You know, if you do the animal-based, if you're keto, I think all those fall under the umbrella of proper human diet. My personal opinion is I don't want to put any refined sugar or grains in my mouth. Sugar is basically a grain anyway. It's all grasses. I stay away from that. So, but you know, if you want to have some berries, if you want to have some fruit, if you want to have some low carbohydrate vegetables, you know, my personal philosophy is eat what the earth provides. Now I choose to be carnivore 95% plus of the time. And, but if you're not that strict and you're still eating natural, I think you're doing good. So.
Well, I had my first, I told you last week, I was going to eat my first vegetable in over 900 days. And I did this last Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Went to a German restaurant, and I had me some sauerkraut, and it was delicious. I hadn't had it in years. I loved it, and there was absolutely no ill effects.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't bother my stomach. Didn't have no inflammation. Nothing. So I felt just fine from eating it. It's not something I'm going to do on a regular basis, but I have heard of people that do use it as a supplement. They'll take a little bit every day just for their gut biome.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there was absolutely no ill effects from eating it. So I know that's something if once in a while I want to indulge in, I can go ahead and do it.
Yeah, there's some carnivore or keto carnivore doctors, you know, or at least that support this, but they also highly promote the use of fermented vegetables, you know, so they're okay with the sauerkraut and they're okay with a pickle, and I think that makes sense too, because those things usually have nothing in them to begin with, and then after going through the fermenting and pickling process, they're pretty benign. So yeah.
I'm in the process of fermenting some kimchi right now.
Oh, lucky you.
So I'll probably have that. That'll be my first vegetable in over 100 days, probably. And you know, it's not like you're eating a whole salad. You have a little thing of it, or
Yeah,
you
you
use
can
it
only
as.
take so much kimchi at one time.
I mean, it helps your gut, but depending on how spicy it is, I could see that going bad too.
Yeah, I fell in love with kimchi when I was working in South Korea. It's good stuff.
Mine is not authentic Korean. I have a friend who's Korean, And she gave me a recipe, but the problem is the Napa cabbage is high in carbs. And I don't know if when you ferment it, if those carbs reduce. So I just use regular cabbage instead of the Napa cabbage because it's lower in carb. And I use radishes instead of they have a radish, but that's high in carb. And regular just red radishes are lower in carb. So I don't know enough about it. I just know it's good and it helped me with gut issues when I had them. So
yeah, Dr. Sean O'Mara, I think, is big on his fermented vegetables, if I remember rightly.
Yes, that's exactly who I was thinking of. I just didn't mention my name.
Dr. Sean. Yeah, he's ex-army, I think, isn't he? So
he's got good content in the army. And a good book. You know, he's definitely. I think he's one that's worth a follow. So Sean O'Mara. George says possum is rich in B12.
Yeah, I've already said that live now. I've had a chance to say that. But I didn't realize everybody loves possums, as in they love them as as
little visitors in the backyard.
Yeah. I know nothing about. We don't have them here, so I don't know what they are.
I don't love them.
Are they not considered to be a pest over there? Because squirrels are very much a pest over here. Yeah, so as I said, a 2.2 air rifle and a decent scope when I was growing up, and there wasn't a rabbit, pigeon, squirrel, or jackrabbit safe anywhere near. Well, within 30 yards of me anyway. When I was a teenager.
Any possums come on my place, they get dispatched immediately.
Okay, fair enough.
They possums can carry a disease that is very detrimental to horses. Okay. And I've got horses, so no, they're off the place as soon as I find them.
Yeah, we've got the most
beautiful animal in America.
We have a problem with badgers over here because they carry bovine tuberculosis. So there are badger culls every year in the local area because of the bovine TB. Right. So we've got the same sort of problems.
Here's a nice testimony. Papa Carnivore says, he used to take 3 BP meds, including losartan. Now I take no blood pressure meds, no diabetes meds, no acid reflux meds, no cholesterol meds, no statins. And his tinnitus is 99% gone since going carnivore.
Excellent.
So that's awesome. That's some awesome healing there, Peter. Very nice. Thanks for sharing.
I've heard that the tinnitus, extended fasting helps with that too.
And that could be. There's a lot of people that they get into fasting and then they actually love it and they make it part of their regular routine. You know, once a week, maybe doing a no food day, or maybe once a month doing a 3-day or even longer fast. So, all right. Rick mentions duck testicles. Do ducks have testicles? I guess
I don't know, but turkeys do.
I guess up there somewhere they do, huh? All righty. He also says he loves liver. It just got too expensive. Around here, it's like $1.50 a pound. It's not a lot here.
It's really cheap here too. I just don't know how to cook it.
No, in the UK, it's the cheapest meat option. There's no question about that. All the offal, all the hearts, the kidneys, and the liver is so much cheaper than the regular meat.
Yeah, there's I use a can of Underwood liverwurst mixed in with my hamburger. I'm just Googling it to see if I got the name here. I think it's called Force of Nature. There's a brand of it's the Force of Nature meats. That's what it is. So yeah, you can go down to the store here, and especially down at the local butcher, and you can get a package of Force of Nature ground meat, and it's basically ground beef like burger, but it has kidney, liver, and spleen, and maybe even some heart. It has a little bit of that actually minced up with the rest of it, and you can't taste it. I make that; it tastes just like a hamburger. It doesn't taste tainted one bit, and so that's a nice way also to get your organ meats in, is through that product. And of course, if you go down to the butcher, and you have, like, if you buy a half cow or a cow, and you just make sure, that's usually the trick, is tell them you still want the organs, but to throw it up with the hamburger. So that way you usually can't tell it's there.
Well, and as much as we're talking about liver as a supplement or any organ meats as a supplement, we still have people like Dr. Chafee that just flat don't eat it, don't think you need it, and they're doing just fine without it.
Bart K is the same way too. He says you can get everything you need just from ruminant muscle meat.
I think it's one of those things
not
where
worried about organs one bit.
If you like eating it, eat it. If you don't like eating it, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
As long as you're not having any issues.
Pretty sure I've mentioned that on here before. It's
yes, you have.
What I'm using at the moment. It's very, very expensive, apparently. These were free samples that were.
That's what Dr. Berry likes. So. Dr. Berry uses that.
Just so I'll give you the recipe or what's in there. It's a beef organ blend of freeze-dried powdered liver, spleen, kidney, heart, and pancreas. So you've got the spleen and the pancreas in there as well as the regular offal. So it's we had James Barry actually last night on Carnivore Sunday School. He was talking about his philosophy behind it. So it's just interesting. But like I say, very, very expensive.
I know. I'm gonna try to pick some up. I want to try it.
Yeah, that would be good. I would try that. Linda says cod liver is good for you, but I can't get past the texture. I've never had cod liver either. That'll come in a can like sardines, right?
A quick one about James Barry. He did confirm last night he will be at Hack Your Health this weekend. So if anybody's going to Hack Your Health, you will be able to find it.
Pick some up at the convention and bring it home. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a circus over here.
Okay. Yeah. That's the third time you posted that comment. Hopefully you're still in here and you got
yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. I got another chat window open that's more current. I see you did see that. Okay. All right, very good. Yeah, so if you ask questions in the chat, I get behind, so just be patient, and we do eventually get to them. I hear a kitty cat.
Yeah, she's obsessed with me.
All right, how cute.
She's crossing the street. Get out of here.
All right, let's see here. All right, we'll go back to our topic here. Let's see here.
Come on.
So other vitamins and minerals that I've heard people bring up before is folate. So I've heard I think it was Peterson's daughter, Michaela. I think she had reported having a folate deficiency, or her folate was low. And I can't remember what she did to correct it. Manganese is another one that we often hear about. We've talked about vitamin C. And by the way, vitamin C, there's an abundance in chicken liver, actually. Now that I'm looking here, chicken liver and pork liver and clams actually are very high in vitamin C. Fourth place would be oysters. I'm sorry. Fourth place would be fish roe, and then fifth place would be oysters. And then you can also get in lamb liver, salmon, beef liver, and mackerel. But yeah, so there's a little bit in beef liver, but chicken liver actually is loaded with vitamin C. So that's pretty interesting there. And then and I also noticed that a lot of these seafoods, you got organs and you got seafoods, are very rich. Like, for instance, magnesium. We talked about magnesium supplementation as far as electrolytes go. Atlantic mackerel, salmon, crab, cod, halibut, and shrimp. All those are actually pretty high in magnesium as well, much higher than beef. And then when you get into another electrolyte, potassium, beef liver is great for potassium, and so is just pork, like any part of the pork, like bacon. Oh, you know what? Duh. So a lot of people say, You need avocados to get your potassium, but actually bacon is loaded with potassium. And so if you're a carnivore and you don't like bacon, something's wrong with you to begin with. But you can get lots of potassium by making sure you eat a lot of bacon. Chicken breasts, salmon, halibut, tuna, shrimp. Again, a lot of these seafoods are rich in a lot of these electrolytes that we might be lacking. Then I've heard people talk about vitamin E. And here's another quiz question for those of you that are in the chat. So we talked about vitamin C is the one vitamin that everybody always brings up when you say you're on a carnivore diet. What's the other? And I won't call it a vitamin, and I'm not going to call it a nutrient. I'm going to call it a thing. What other thing will someone bring up when you say you don't eat plants? There's your hint.
Fiber.
There it is. Yep. So Rockin' Coach Amy's got it. Fiber. So yeah, that's the other thing that we hear all the time is, how do you get your fiber? Oh my God, you need fiber.
Don't need
You're
it.
going to die without fiber.
I'm better off without it. Much better off without it.
You're right. You're better off
Getting
without
rid of fiber cured my Crohn's.
Right.
Yep.
I had also.
They had me on a straight fiber diet, and it was killing me.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I absolutely blame my hernia, my inguinal hernia, on fiber, because it's for me it caused IBS, which was bloating, flatulence, and constipation, which meant straining on the toilet. And I'm fairly convinced that was what actually created the hernia in the first place. My sister and my hernia sister's over there. I don't know how you feel about that, Amy, but there we go. Oh, you're on
5:30. Can you hear me? Can you hear me
10
now?
now. Yeah.
Okay, so you were in Kilt's thing.
I was.
There are a couple things. Either straining, could go to the bathroom.
Mhm.
Either I lifted maybe like a 40-pound box of kitty litter that's too heavy for me, or my hysterectomy. I feel like, and he didn't say this, right? He says it's plants.
Yeah.
But anytime you have surgery, they're going through your abdominal wall, anything like that. And I feel like, how do they get into the abdominal wall? They poke holes in you, right? That are supposed to heal. But couldn't doing that weaken the abdominal wall? I mean,
Yeah.
so I wonder, like, I never had problems with that until after I had my, I don't know.
But was the location of the hernia similar to the location of the surgery site?
Yeah. Mine is inguinal, so it's down.
Yeah,
I mean, they were rooting around down there. So I mean, yeah.
Yeah, the reason that I've been recommended now for surgery is because it's grown and it is also spread into. I use the word groin because that's a bit politer than the very graphic description. Yeah, that I was given. So yeah, I think if I say it's spread down, it's grown and spread downwards into the groin, then that gives you an idea of where the actual location is. So yeah, apparently I've got both categories for surgery. One, it's grown, and second, it's spread into the marital area, shall we say?
Yeah.
So
we'll say the surrounding area.
Yeah, well, no, actually, it's not even the surrounding area; it's right in the area. So there we go. It's but they're delaying. They're playing delaying tactics.
How soon can you get your surgery then, George?
It's entirely up to the NHS. The only I was talking to a lovely lady from Texas yesterday, actually, who was a nurse over here, and she was saying, George, the best thing you can do is just go to your doctor and say you're in great pain, and it's excruciating. And she said,
make it more priority.
That they will send you down to my hospital. She said, I work in the Patients Advisory Liaison Service. She said, come and see me with your doctor's note. And she said, I will scare the hell out of them. I say, she's Texan. She's a big girl. And yeah, I've got a great respect for Amanda, actually. So I might just pull that trick that she's told me. Go and see the doctor, get referred to her hospital, go and see her, and she will kick ass, as I believe is the expression. So who knows?
Yeah.
On the fiber topic, so I used to have ulcerative colitis too, and that's also gone away. That's my biggest victory, I would say, with my carnivore diet is the elimination of my ulcerative colitis. So I'm no longer on meds for that. It's been 6 years of not taking meds, and this last year I've officially, had a colonoscopy, and the biopsy came back negative for the first time. So there's actually zero trace of it in me anymore.
Wow.
And that's absolutely awesome. And before, I was on, keto, but it was, the bastardized keto that's came into existence after Atkins' death. I was eating the keto protein bars and the keto tortillas and the keto breads, and I was eating almonds and spinach. And I mean, I had so much oxalate and fiber in me that I was probably a victim of my own ignorance, which is probably why I had the ulcerative colitis. Now that's gone. What's that?
Eating keto sad.
Keto sad, yeah. Fake keto, imposter keto, commercialized.
I went that route too.
Yeah, and
I mean, probably the most famous ulcerative colitis case I know we were discussing earlier with Dr. Kiltz, and that is Kent's carnivore, Lee Copus. He lost his colon to ulcerative colitis and now has an ileostomy bag. And here's the living proof that we digest meat in the stomach and the small intestine, because the only thing which appears in his ileostomy bag is an odorless, clear liquid now. Whereas before, when he was still eating vegetables, they were going through his stomach and through his small intestine and coming into his ileostomy bag, in other words, his large intestine, as still in the same condition as he put them into his mouth. So he is the living proof that, of what we're saying is right, basically. So,
right. And so, we'll often hear, even from the mainstream medical community, that fiber is indigestible. Humans can't digest fiber. But then out of the other side of their mouth, they'll say it's absolutely required for your health.
Well, it's supposed to actually bulk out. It's supposed to bulk out your stool. That's what they want it to do. They want you to have larger. It's because of a guy called Dennis Burkitt, who said that if you have small stools, build large hospitals. So for some reason, his observational studies in Ethiopia, the fiber myth was born from very, very loose observational studies in East Africa. And he noticed that the local people ate a lot of fiber, had very large stools, and sort of went regularly to the bathroom. Well, in fact, not the bathroom; it was the side of the road. That's how we got to notice it. But that's the only study. It was all based on a very weak observational study by Dennis Burkitt, who is more famous for Burkitt's lymphoma, or as famous. So there was no scientific survey done or anything, and yet it is one of those myths, one of those urban legends that has just taken root and is now accepted as the truth. I was brought up by my father believing that fiber, or roughage as he called it, was absolutely necessary, because he totally bought into it. So I never considered, my father was a very intelligent man. I never considered questioning it. I never considered questioning the mainstream medical establishment until 3.5 years ago. And anyway, you know what it's like.
Yeah. If we only knew back then what we know now, right?
Exactly.
If I could go back and convince my 20-year-old self what I know now at 50, by the way, I just turned 50. That's not an F word I like.
You want to try having the S word? I just turned 60. September the 2nd is my birthday.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have listened to myself, because I didn't listen to nobody back then. So
right, yeah,
it wouldn't have done me any good. And I'm a firm believer God puts us where we need to be when we need to be there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't have listened to myself either. So, although maybe I don't know, because it was around that age is when I actually, I was trying to lose weight, and my next door neighbor gave me his copy of Dr. Atkins' New Diet Revolution. I read it. It made sense. Most of the information in there harmonizes with what we know and tell others about today. And I applied it, and I lost a lot of weight. My problem was I didn't stick to it. You know,
Yeah,
so
when I was 20, I was the fittest I'd ever been. I was an infantryman in the United States Army, and I was as fit as could be. I wouldn't have listened to anybody because I ate all the bad food I could, drank all the bad liquor I could, and still get out there and run 5 miles every day and hump 20 miles with a 6-pound rucksack on my back, so yeah, you couldn't have convinced me that I was eating wrong back then.
on the going back to fiber is so like your vegans or your vegetarians, the diehards, not the cool ones, the diehards, they want to really, really try and rock the boat because we're carnivores. They will often say that, okay, yes, you cannot digest fiber, but it's good for your gut microbiome because you got bacteria in your stomach, and those will break down the fibers and produce short chain fatty acids that your body will then use for energy. But so what? Because if we're consuming meat, we're just consuming those short chain fatty acids directly without any kind of whacked out process of trying to break down plant material. So, and then
I actually did a YouTube earlier on today in which I broached this very subject about the fiber breaking down the short chain fatty acids. But I pointed out that we can get all the fatty acids we need simply by eating meat. So yeah, it's we don't have to go through all the nightmare of the IBS and basically they talk about vegetables fermenting in your colon. Let's face it, they are rotting. And that is what produces the smell of rotting vegetables associated with flatulence for those who eat vegetables still. I think we're all adults here. Ever since I gave up fiber, my flatulence is much reduced, and I haven't produced a smelly one in 2 years. So there we go.
Yeah, I'm not bloated and gassy anymore either, unless I eat some plant material. Then I will be. If I do happen to go out and have broccoli or a salad, yeah, I have the gas. And the worst was last week. If you were tuned in last week, I admitted to eating some chili because we were invited over to a person's house as their guest, and they made chili. And so I wasn't going to be rude and not eat, so I went ahead and ate a bowl of chili. I haven't had beans in 2.5 years. So that would actually be on my list of do not eat along with the grains. And especially now after last Sunday, because that evening, I swear that if I could have held it in, I would have produced enough gas to float away. I mean, it was horrible. All the bloating and the gas. I'd never experienced anything like that. Even when I ate the standard American diet, like I think I don't have the bacteria for that even in my stomach to break that down anymore. It was miserable. I ain't touching it again.
over here, Brussels sprouts are a standing joke because they are traditional to have them with the Christmas turkey because we have turkey at Christmas here. Mm-hmm. And the jokes about the Brussels sprouts, you don't want to be too near anybody who's had Brussels sprouts with their turkey, and it's well known. It's just accepted. And of course, the other one as well is baked beans. Baked beans are good for your heart. The more you eat, the better you feel. Eat Heinz beans at every meal. So yeah, Brussels sprouts and baked beans, they're known to do this, and yet people still want to eat them.
I did too. I love all those beans, and I love all the grains, and I love all the sweets, and that stuff just doesn't love me.
No, exactly.
And what changed my mind on beans, because when I did keto, I would still get, beans. I'd go to a Chipotle and get a salad, and I then put the black beans on it because I thought that was still keto, And what changed my mind on it was as I studied carnivore and you studied plants and you study the anti-nutrients in plants, beans. Remember, my philosophy is eat from the earth. Whatever you can go out and pick or pluck or hunt or kill, is usually fair game. You can't go out and just pick beans and eat them. You will get sick. Like kidney beans will make you sick if you try and eat them raw. They have to be cooked and boiled and blanched. Overcooked. Yeah. And that's actually true with a lot of these things that humans consume. They're full of poison and toxins that will make you absolutely ill. And humans learned that they had to boil the snot out of them and dump the water and boil them again and dump the water and boil them again to get all those toxins out so that they could actually eat them. Well, to me, that tells me that wasn't designed for my consumption.
Or I could throw a steak on the grill and it'll be ready in 5 minutes.
Right. So
And
that's why I
my
usually
diverticulosis will not act up with a steak, but it will with any of those other plant foods.
Right. Yeah. So that's why I also eschew beans, because again, that doesn't fit my criteria of what you could find out in what you could just go out into the field, find, pluck, and eat it right off the vine. That beans don't do it. You'll feel ill. So unless you do something like fermenting them, and like Rick says here, sauerkraut is used to enhance low quality meats. Yeah, absolutely. That's a good use of sauerkraut. Foxy Joe says, I love these Carnivore Talk lives. Awesome shows. And yeah, when we were talking about fermented vegetables, we were talking about Sean O'Mara's living carnivore diet. Very good. I had those pinned. I go back to the lives and see what I've missed. Someone brought up poop gas when we were talking about beans. I know what that harkens back to.
TMI.
Someone's thrifty means of cooking. So if you want to know what the inside scoop is on poop gas, you got to go over to Rick's channel on Saturday morning, 8 a.m. and ask him to explain what poop gas is. So, all right. Yeah, that's the song I learned. Yeah, magical fruit. The more you eat, the more you toot. That's what I had heard. So
that's a different version of the one which I was saying.
Yeah.
A bit
Hey Bob, I've got a question about two supplements when you get a chance.
Yeah, let's see here. Just 1 second. Didn't science liken our whole digestive tract to carnivore animals like a lion, or am I mistaken? So there's very strong similarities between a human's digestive tract and carnivores. So you do have some elements of it that are also like other omnivores, but we do lean more heavily towards the carnivore side as far as the length of the small intestine versus the large intestine, the fact that our cecum is really, really small and we don't have a huge one like a gorilla. We don't have a 4-chamber stomach like a cow, and we have a pH, an acidic level equivalent to that of vultures, which not only indicates that humans can eat meat, but humans can eat rotting rancid meat as well. So very, very, very adaptive. So
is there any truth in the rumor that what I've heard is that your stomach acid varies depending on what you eat? Because I have heard that vegetarians that get all the acid reflux, it's because they've got a virtually neutral stomach acid, and that if you actually switch to a meat diet, then it lowers your pH. Has anybody heard that, or is it? I don't think I imagine it, but I don't know if it's
I haven't heard that, but I've heard a lot of people have cured their acid reflux from once they go carnivore.
Yeah,
So I would say there's something to that.
And it makes sense. What you put in there would affect, the balance of things. And
yeah, because we from the UK, we've got a girl appearing on Healing Humanity, Lauren Tucker, one of my nearest carnivores. She couldn't, when she was recommended a vegetarian diet to try and deal with her problems, she wasn't able to eat, and she dropped down to very dangerously low weight. But when she went onto a diet based on lamb, then very rapidly that acid reflux, she was able to hold stuff down again. So maybe there is some truth in that. I don't know, but I have heard that what you eat will vary your pH of your stomach acid.
I think it's true. So, like a vegetarian who eats a lot of plants and fruits that have a high water content or high carbohydrate content. Remember the key word in there, that is hydrate. So
Oh yeah.
you consume that and you're going to you're going to have dilution, and so it's going to raise the pH. Okay. And then we don't have that when we eat meat, or if we eat a lot of meat, then it's going to increase the acid production, and then the pH is going to go down. So I think that's absolutely true. So if you take a vegan who eats primarily carbohydrates, and every time they have a big meal, their stomach acidity their pH is going to go up. But if they fast for a while, it should return to a baseline. So it does, but I don't know if it does for any. I don't know if it does for the long term. I don't know how long it would change it until it goes back to normal, because the body's always going to try and return the baseline. So
I just found the AI solution to it, and you're going to find this hilarious, I think. Yes, meat consumption can lower acid pH levels, making it more acidic, especially fatty or processed meats. The high protein content and fat in meat can slow down digestion, potentially leading to an increase in stomach acid production to break it down. Right, here comes the load of utter nonsense. Yeah. It says, which can worsen acid reflux for those symptoms of acid reflux for those with acid reflux.
Meanwhile, we're curing
it. What a load of utter crap, basically. It's unbelievable. Because everybody that we've spoken to who's switched to meat, we all know that it chases away GERD, whatever GERD may be. I know there's a gastro something or other, reflux disorder.
Right.
And everybody I've spoken to who's actually switched to meat, they say that their heartburn goes, acid reflux goes. So yeah, good old anti-meat AI again strikes again, basically.
And and that's the reasons for that are at least twofold. So one is, most people that have acid reflux, they have a problem with the muscle not closing at the stomach. Okay.
Yeah.
And so they usually have it at night when they sleep, because they'll eat late, their stomach will have contents in it, they'll lay down. Right. That muscle doesn't keep the contents in the stomach, and so it comes up, and it comes out their mouth. They might get it in their lungs or whatever. They wake up coughing. They got to chew gum or something because it tastes absolutely nasty. So on your carnivore diet, you're probably not eating at bedtime. You're satiated after dinner. You don't need a late night snack. So when you go to bed, your stomach's empty, and you're going to be less likely to have that issue. Some people, they have to raise the headboard of their bed a little bit too, so that they're sleeping at an angle, But yeah, so if you have GERD, there's actually a physical problem with GERD, and you eat and then go to bed, you're increasing your chances of waking up with an acid reflux spell. So, and then the other aspect of that, when I said it was twofold, is you could be, when you eat just the carnivore diet, you allow your body to possibly heal, because the damage was being done by the plants you were consuming. And you remove the plants that you were consuming, you have more opportunity to heal. You're getting yourself nutrition, and if you're also satiated more, you don't have stuff in your stomach all the time. That also allows it more time to heal too. So there's a couple reasons why some people would have GERD or acid reflux, and they would see an improvement by switching to a carnivore diet. Yes, Amy.
I have a confession to make, and Lewis will totally get this, because Lewis and I
gotta go to bed. I'm falling asleep over here.
Okay, he's got to go to bed. But anyway, I bet you I can out-eat anybody on this panel, just because I never get full. Yeah. And so when I first started, I never had acid reflux. That was one of the wheels that stayed on my body, didn't fall off, right? Everything else fell off, but that. And then when I first started carnivore, I don't get full. I could eat thousands of calories a day, thousands. I would stop myself when I got to 4,000 or 5,000 calories and 300 grams of fat. I would just stop. I'm like, this seems a little excessive. And so then I'm like, everyone's just eat until you get full. Well, I never get full. And so like I'd find myself at 10 o'clock at night eating bacon and then going to bed. And if I have late night bacon, for the first time in my life, I get acid reflux. Like there was one night I woke up and I thought there was literally acid coming out of me. So like the first time I ever got acid reflux was on Carnivore.
Mhm. But you
Because
ate
I
late
ate
at night.
late.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah.
So I can't have bacon late at night.
I've had acid reflux like twice. My wife used to get it all the time. She's on a medication for it, and she can't eat late. But I've had it twice. It was both before I started carnivore. That's from eating late, and it was a lesson because I was like, I'd see it happen to her all the time, and then when it happened to me, I was like, wow, now I know why this absolutely sucks, and you were suffering because that was nasty.
All right, guys, I'm gonna log off.
All right, Lewis.
But I'll be
Thanks for
listening.
joining us.
Lewis,
All
you're a
right,
complete
guys.
lightweight. It's currently 10 to 3 in the
I know.
morning
I don't
over
even want to
here.
know what time it is by you. It's crazy.
Oh, it's gonna wait.
Have a good night, guys. Talk to you
Good night,
later.
Lewis.
Right, Lewis,
Bye.
cheers,
Good
mate.
night. Thanks for joining. All right. Let's see here. Then Brisket Boomers says Monday nights, Bob's voice is my go to sleep meditation. Good night. So
Is that her way of saying that you're boring?
I say I put her to sleep. No, I think that means that she's going to bed and she'll be checking out regardless. So I do the same thing. I go to bed and I plug in headphones and I listen to YouTube and go to sleep to YouTube. So you're
Headphones. Why is it muted? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, it was just
Okay,
delayed.
so I have a headphones that it's a headband that goes all around my head, and they've got little earphones in it because the ones that go in your ears, if you fall asleep with them on, they tend to hurt my ears, and then I wake up. And so I bought this little headband that I wear to bed, and I look like a hippie, but it's okay because it works, and it's got the little soft earphones, and I go to bed with those every night.
Yeah, mine are wired and they go in the ear. They're earbuds, and I'm okay with them. They don't bother me. And I tried wearing I wore some Samsung Galaxy Buds to bed one time, and I woke up and I couldn't find them, because they're wireless, so I have to keep them plugged in.
Mhm.
Bill says the doctor avoided me like I had the flu today. Told her about how carnivore can reverse type 2. Told her I'm a coach now, and if she needs my number, I'm just a phone call away.
Good for
Very
you.
good.
Bill.
That sounds like that went over well. All right.
I'm just wondering whether I can show you my business card here. I can actually. Look at that. This is my business card. And that is my before and after photographs on the back of my business card. And that is a lethal weapon, I found, because nobody can deny the evidence of their own eyes. A lot of people say that's not you, but no, that is, believe me, that is the same person from 2019 to 2025. So yeah, it's and then I've got my description on the back as a ketogenic lifestyle coach, and there's my contact details. But as a business card, that is lethal because it captures people's. You know what it's like? You hand out your card, nobody takes any notice of it. People take notice of that. So I can highly recommend it. If you've got a before and after, I mean, Amy, you must have as well because you have, haven't you? So yeah, get yourself some of these, mate, because it captures people.
Great idea. I mean, steal that from you.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's not a question of stealing it. This is, hey, I'm a coach in the ketogenic world, and this is my tip for my fellow coaches. Get some business cards like that, mate.
That's your bona fides.
Yeah, exactly.
Bill says we put Peter to sleep a few times. That we have.
Yeah, absolutely. I was very worried actually because when it first happened, Amy literally just had her stitches and she had apoplexy, and so I thought we were going to lose her for a minute, but no, she's looking a lot better now.
Yeah,
I blew out,
Peter dozed off and had us in stitches. It was funny.
I did. I lost some stitches.
I've done the same thing on kilts.
Yeah, that was on the Monday night, wasn't it? Yeah,
that was on a Monday night. Yeah.
Yeah, she turned up on Keto Cookout the following night, and I actually said in the chat, Amy, it's not safe for you to be here because if you burst out laughing, we're going to lose you.
You know what's funny about that is I don't remember going into all those live streams. I was on Oxy and And then was it Paul called me the lady in the recliner?
Yeah, you were just lying in bed and chatting away to us. It was great. It really was. But it was, I was just a bit worried about you because obviously you'd only just got over it. And the last thing you want to do if you're afraid to laugh is be on with Russ Mitchell on Keto Cooking. Crikey. Anyway, you survived.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
Yeah.
Rick says I get into bed and fall asleep in 5 to 10 minutes. Yeah, so I usually do too, unless I'm doom scrolling on my phone. But if I literally just put on a YouTube video, turn the screen off, lay on my side, I'm probably out within the first 3 minutes, honestly.
Yeah, it's one thing I've learned to do now because, as you know, I get myself very tired and then I go to sleep quickly. But my phone is now on charge downstairs. It never goes in the bedroom anymore for that reason. Because I don't want to be tempted to sort of sit up with it. So yeah, I leave it down here when I go up, and just like Rick, after we finish here, I'll probably go pretty much 10 minutes after we finish here, just while I chill. Within 5 to 10 minutes, I'll be sound asleep because I get that tired now. So I never admit to being tired. By the way, somebody was asking me about that the other day, but I said no, I'll never admit to it. But yeah, actually, I will privately admit to it to this small crowd that I do get tired, even though I pretend not to.
Well, we have a question for you here, George. Can you sing a little AC/DC for us?
I'm not sure I can sing it. I could, but certainly "Highway to Hell" is one of mine. "Hold On to Rosie." Yes, never had a woman like you doing all the things that you do. Is that the one? That's that "Hold On to Rosie," wasn't it? But no, I haven't got the. Was it Angus? Somebody was the leader, singer of AC/DC?
Yes, and
He's
they're
the
coming.
second one, right?
Yeah, they're coming to Notre Dame, University of Notre Dame Stadium. Not the Notre Dame you know, George, but the Notre Dame that.
Exactly, yeah. But do they? So I didn't even know that AC/DC was still going. I thought they died, or Angus didn't he die in a car or something? Or was I thinking of Lemmy of Motorhead? I don't know. But
no,
I didn't realize AC/DC was still going.
Yeah, they're coming for a concert here in South Bend.
Oh yeah, the other one I forgot was Thunderstruck, and apparently King Charles's son Prince William, he claims that Thunderstruck is his favorite bit of music. Whether he's just trying to be cool and down or whatever, I don't know. But he was famously said that Thunderstruck was his driving music. So yeah, it's Thunderstruck, "Highway to Hell," "Hold On to Rosie." There's probably others I've forgotten, but no, I'm sorry, I'm not going to try and sing them.
All right, so hey, I'll be right back. Go ahead and hit us up with some trivia or music taste or whatever you want. I'll be back in 90 seconds.
Oh, yeah, okay, trivia. Right, me and Amy are going to jump in here because I've just been introduced to Coldplay, Amy, and apparently you are a Coldplay fan. Is that right?
I like Coldplay, but you know who I like better than Coldplay? We're going backwards. You're going current, and I'm going backwards. Guess who my favorite all-time group is?
Black Sabbath.
No.
Oh, that was just a guess.
The Beatles. Who? I love the Beatles. The Beatles.
No, I was a Rolling Stone. I'm a Rolling Stones man. In the UK, you say you are either Beatles or Stones. I was very much Stones.
I'm very much Beatles.
Yeah. Who's saying Rolling Stones? David, is that you saying Rolling Stones, or is that you, Geoff?
I said I like both.
Oh, you like both? Okay, you're sitting on the fence.
I'm older than you. I'm in my 68th year, and so I love all of that.
Yeah, it's true. But no, I was definitely Rolling. I think Rolling Stones, you're kind of cooler than the Beatles.
Yeah,
so
they're good.
And Led Zeppelin as well, of course, they were around at the same time. And Black Sabbath were around at the same. Hey, I was just excited, Amy.
Yeah.
Amy, you've gone quiet again.
It's this headset. Sorry, it's delayed. So I've seen Jimmy Page and Robert Plant twice in Chicago. Cool. Back in the 90s when they could still jump up in the air and stuff like that. But
I'll tell you something. I bet you wouldn't like Robert Plant now, would you?
I love. Yeah.
Just think about what we're saying here, Amy. Remember what Dr. Kill said.
He's a plant. He's a plant,
so he's poisonous.
He's a plant.
Yeah, exactly. So
cool.
But mind you, Dr. Berry, we let him get away with it, don't we? So there we go. He's a berry.
He's a berry. That's funny.
I saw Kiss live in 1976.
That's cool.
And let's see, Crosby, Stills, and Nash. I think that
First
was
concert,
in
no.
78.
My first concert was CCR.
Oh,
Creedence Clearwater. Yep.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Me and my buddy, we mowed a lot of lawns and washed a lot of cars to get the money up to buy them $25 tickets.
I saw Three Dog Night
What was the
live.
favorite Vietnam song? Bad Moon Rising. There was another one as well. America.
Mm-hmm.
What am I thinking of, Geoff? Come on, help me out here. When you listen to the Vietnam tracks, it's Bad Moon Rising. And there's one
Running
other.
Through the Jungle.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one exactly.
My first was Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers at Notre Dame Stadium, and I've seen Aerosmith. I love Aerosmith too.
You're not going to believe what my first concert was.
What?
Captain and Tennille.
Yacht rock. He likes yacht rock.
Bill Haley in the comments.
Outside of the Cleveland Orchestra, because I played violin as a child, my first pop music, rock music concert that I ever went to was Milli Vanilli.
Oh no!
Were they singing themselves? Weren't they famous for getting caught miming or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't sing on their own album, and they never sang the songs. The hired studio singers sang the songs, and they were just two models that were hired to be the front men. They lip synced everything, and they got busted. But I was so into Milli Vanilli in late elementary school, middle school, and that was
same
my first
age.
concert.
Yep. I had their cassette tape. Because we used to go buy those cassette tapes, and I had their single and Paula Abdul and all of them that were in that era. Yep.
For me, it was John Bon Jovi was my first ever concert, so I'm quite proud of that one. He's good. Yeah.
Here's Bill's question:
like Bon Jovi.
If you had to listen to just one artist for the rest of your life, who would it be? That's a tough one.
I can't.
I do have my favorite artist, and he's in like 10 different bands, so that still gives me a lot of variety. He has a huge discography. But my favorite artist is a guy named Mike Patton, and he was the lead singer for Faith No More, Mr. Bungle, Tomahawk, Mike Patton versus the Executioners, Peeping Tom, Dead Cross. He's doing a project with the Abbott Brothers now. I mean, his discography is huge. He's my favorite artist. I think he's the greatest male singer vocalist of all time. And so since you said artist, I can actually mention him by name and still listen to a variety of music because he's done something in just about every genre. So,
yeah, I think for me, if I had to just choose one band, it would be Queen, Freddie Mercury and Queen, because they, from 1975 right the way through, because they got such a massive selection of music. Actually, before I came on here tonight, I was listening to the one from Highlander, Who Wants to Live Forever, and that was it's quite it's quite emotional, that one, really, in many ways.
Fantastic guitarist. I've always been a big fan of Brian Mays. He's fantastic.
You got his hairstyle, Amy, so I'm not surprised, really.
That's why.
Yeah. I do not like Beatles or Rolling Stones. So it's interesting as I like the Beatles have some hits, obviously, but I don't really care for the Beatles either. And I've had someone tell me that it might be my own fault. I was DJing a wedding one time, and somebody had requested some Beatles songs. So I got onto the library, and I got the Beatles Anthology 1 and 2, I think it was, and I ripped them all off of the CD. And so then they were on my phone in rotation, all these Beatles songs, and they'd come on and I'd be like, I got to skip this. It's terrible. It's absolutely bad. I like things like Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band and some of the other hits, but all these songs would be really bad. But then my bass teacher, I played bass guitar. He said that my problem was that the anthology set is actually a bunch of their pre-fame stuff, like their demos, and they're all really bad recordings. And if I had actually listened to late stuff that came later on official labels that were quality recordings, I might have a different opinion. That could be, but I'm kind of with you there on the Beatles.
Funny. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say Beatles was always one of my favorites, but a lot of that for me is nostalgia. I actually remember watching them on their first Ed Sullivan show live when I was a kid. In fact, it was funny because my sister, who is 8 years older than me, she was in high school when they came over here, and performed live. And it was a big fight in the house between me and her on Sunday night, whether to watch them on Ed Sullivan or me. I wanted to watch my favorite show, which was Combat. Go figure, I'd grow up and be a soldier. So, that was our big fight. But I remember the Beatles, and I remember, she won out because I could see Combat every weekend. She could only see the Beatles, once in a while when they performed on Ed Sullivan. So, there's a little nostalgia there for me on that.
Yeah, Beatlemania was a thing in the States, wasn't it? It was actually it was their arrival in the States. Yeah.
It was really pretty ridiculous when you get right down to it, but it was something.
The anthology, because I got the flu in 1999 and I was a computer programmer, and one of my very first jobs out of college was to do the Y2K bug thing, like fix the two-digit years and the four-digit years. If you've ever seen Office Space, that was me. And I got the flu at the end of the year when it was required that we were working until midnight on New Year's Eve. Well, I couldn't because I was sick. So I watched the anthology. It was in the in the late 90s. I watched the whole thing, the video, not listening to it, but the video. And I'm like, I didn't like the Beatles. I thought they were a 3-chord band until I watched that. And I thought it was just very well put together and interesting. And that's how I got into liking the Beatles, was from the anthology, which Bob is the opposite. He doesn't like the Beatles because of the anthology.
That's what just someone told me. So Bill Cook says Heart was his first. That was a good band.
Yeah,
and Foxy Joe says his first was Eddie Money.
I saw Eddie Money too, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. My mom would have picked Tom Jones.
Yeah.
I love DLO.
So Roy Orbison has come up. Jimi Hendrix.
Favorites too. Yeah, ELO is awesome.
Journey good. Don't Stop Believing. Love that song.
Yeah, let's see here.
Guns N' Roses, November Rain.
Guns N' Roses. So I was middle school when Guns N' Roses came out. I absolutely loved them. Had all their CDs.
Knocking on Heaven's Door.
Yep.
I had that song as an earworm today because it's November and it was pouring with rain over here. So I was whistling November Rain to myself as we went about our business.
Yeah, Appetite for Destruction album was good, but then when they came out with Use Your Illusion 1 and Use Your Illusion 2, those were just masterpieces, man.
Chinese Democracy as well, was that another one?
Chinese something
or other. Yeah.
That came later.
Yeah.
To play November Rain on the piano, the entrance to that, because it was actually on the piano.
So you were talking about seeing something late at night and got you into the Beatles. The similar thing happened to me where, can you tell us after 10? We're so off topic now. I was living at home and they had one of those PBS fund drives. How every 6 months they tried to get everybody to send in money through the local broadcasting. And they were playing Moody Blues at Red Rocks. And I just happened to turn it on. I'd never heard of the Moody Blues before. They were a band from before my time. And I was hooked. I watched that thing from beginning to end, even through every break where they'd have, beg for money for 10 minutes or something. Absolutely loved it. So I bet
I'll still have their Seventh Soldier album.
So I kind of
Seventh Soldier. Yeah.
And then I became like a retro David Bowie fan. My first exposure to David Bowie was he did a duet with Queen.
Under Pressure.
Under Pressure.
1982.
So I remember that. And then he did the soundtrack to Labyrinth in 84, 85. And that I kind of became hooked on him then. And then in 1997, my favorite David Bowie album, because David Bowie is another one of these artists that he did something in every genre. Every album he switched things up. And so he did an industrial rock album in '97 called Earthling, and that's my favorite David Bowie album. That's the one that's got like I'm Afraid of Americans on it, and then Little Wonder. So that was like, I was really into that kind of music, the techno industrial sound, and he released an album that way. And then after that, I went backwards and listened to some of his stuff, and I followed him forwards. And his last album that he released 2 days after he died, called Black Star, is one of the greatest albums of all time. So, but to Earthling and Black Star, I love those albums. I could listen to them non-stop, never get tired of them. We lost David.
Yeah, you fix to lose me.
Okay.
I've had enough, guys. I got to take a shower and get to bed. Enjoyed it.
All right.
Y'all have a great evening.
Is it, you still got the headache?
Thanks, Geoff.
Or did the headache go away?
No, it's still there.
All right. Well, I hope you can sleep it off.
I appreciate it. Y'all have a good evening. Good
Okay.
night.
You too, Geoff.
Cheers, buddy. Bye-bye.
Yeah. All right.
Extreme close up.
Absolutely, yeah. Cheek to cheek, Amy. There we go.
Well, I could switch to this one.
Yeah, that's better. Thank you. I know.
All right. Ed Sullivan, Glenn Miller,
Glenn Miller's good.
Tom
Yeah,
Petty.
quick,
I like
quick comment about us getting a quick comment about us getting off topic. Bear in mind the fact that this is our community is all about health, and I just think that conversations like this are really good for mental health because everybody's really enjoying it, and I think we have a responsibility to our mental health as well as our physical health. So
That's
these
true.
sort of discussions, they kind of light up the chat, and I love them. I really do.
So Tom Petty, I like a lot of Tom Petty stuff.
Yeah, can I just say about Tom Petty, because I spent the Christmas and New Year of 1990 with the United States Marine Corps in Saudi Arabia, and that was at the time when I Won't Back Down and Free Falling were very big. So I always associate, when I hear Free Falling, I always associate it with being with the United States Marine Corps in Saudi Arabia. And it's one of my favorite songs, I must admit, Free Falling.
Yeah,
so.
I was in high school when that was out. So
Yeah, well, I was stuck on the northern Saudi Arabian border with radio recon platoon of the 1st Marine Expeditionary Force out of Hawaii. I was the honorary Brit with them, so that was a very memorable time in my life, to say the very least.
Donna Ray says Jimmy Buff. That's Jimmy Buffett, right?
Yeah. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. I can't remember, but yeah.
Toby Keith. There's a couple fans here. Barry Manilow was my first concert. Bruce Jenner was sitting near us. So Barry Manilow, there was a song called Mandy. That I absolutely loved when I was in 1st grade, and that's because I sat next to a girl named Mandy. Let's see. Loved when his video blocked himself in his basement. I'm not sure what that refers to.
That might have been David Bowie, I think we were talking about at the time, but I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
It's maybe Toby Keith.
Oh, okay.
Possibly.
Bruce eating too much
Carnivore,
fruit.
is this live still? Yes, it's still going. It's still going. People, we're talking music now. If you're interested.
Yeah. So we'll probably wind this up in the next 15 minutes or so.
What did Amy? What did Dr. Kiltz tell us? His mother's cousin is the mother of Bruce Springsteen, so he's second.
Something
cousin
like that.
Yeah.
But my brain.
I've got it
my brain
down.
hemorrhaged.
Dr. Kiltz's mother's. Bruce Springsteen is Dr. Kiltz's mother's cousin's son, so they're second cousins basically. So yeah, so there we go.
Heard that song I Am. Have you ever heard that song I Am My Own Grandpa?
No, I remember you put that in
comedy
the
song. Bob's heard it. Bob, tell me you've heard the song I Am My Own Grandpa. When Dr. Kiltz said that.
Oh, I'm not familiar with the song. No.
When Dr. Kiltz said that, my brain couldn't make the connection of who the relative was he was talking about. And the only thing that popped in my head was I Am My Own Grandpa. Peter, where'd you go? Did I scare you off?
I think Peter switched to another window.
Hi,
Like
Peter.
Yeah.
He's turned sideways.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm trying to. Can you hear me?
Yes.
We can,
Yes.
Peter. We can.
Is
How you
that
doing?
George, my carnivore twin in the UK?
Absolutely. I got both my male twin with me now, and I got my female twin with me as well. So I've got the family with me tonight. Bob, thank you very much for organising this family reunion for me.
Hey,
Yes,
no problem.
Peter's my type 2 diabetes twin, and Amy's my hernia twin. So yeah, we're all family together tonight.
Well, how is your cystatin C level, Bob?
So I haven't had it checked in a couple months, but I will be getting a blood test this week. I have to see if the cystatin C's on it. If not, I have to order it myself. But I have a follow-up kidney doctor appointment next Friday. So in basically a week and a half. So I will be going in for bloods.
Well, don't let them scare you with the EGFR. The creatinine.
Oh, I'm not scared.
You're eating so much meat that it's going to throw that thing. So just don't even look at that. It's not a good marker for a carnivore. You know that.
Yes, I know that. I made a video explaining it. So yeah, no, I'm not worried about the EGFR with creatinine, because there's different ways to calculate an EGFR. The traditional way is with creatinine. And that's where mine is going to make it look like I died yesterday. But I can also get it calculated in EGFR using the cystatin C, and that's going to yield better results. And that's the one that I trust. So,
right. But you also mentioned a urine test. What did you mean by that?
So you can take a 24-hour urine test, and it'll give you a reading. Let's see if I wrote it down. Let's see here. Blood labs history. Blood.
So what is that? Is that the amount of urine, like a volume test?
Yeah. So you collect 24 hours. You can do a creatinine and a protein check. That's a spot check, or you can collect for 24 hours, which for me, I yielded at like 1.5 gallons of urine. And you get your creatinine clearance over 24 hours and your protein over 24 hours. And so the units I had was 2,148 of the creatinine, 2,550. And so that gave me a creatinine clearance of 20. And that scale is almost the same as the EGFR scale. So, a 20 creatinine clearance is basically the same as having a 20 EGFR.
Right.
So even though my EGFR with creatinine was at one point down to 8, I did the 24-hour urine test and the cystatin C. With cystatin C, it was 24, and the 24-hour creatinine clearance through the urine was a 20. So both of those latter numbers, a 20 and a 24, was more in harmony with how I feel versus the low 8 that came with the creatinine as a calculation.
Right.
So we can dismiss the creatinine knowing that it's flawed because of all the protein I consume.
Right.
And we can look at these other two measurements as being more of an accurate estimate. It's all estimates, but this is a more of an accurate estimate than the first one.
Well, so you have not had the cystatin C in 2 months? Is that test?
Let's see here. When I had my cystatin
Because
C.
I mean, that could be dramatically different in 2 months. Like you could be like go from a level stage 4 to maybe even a 3 or something.
Not likely.
No,
only because of historically. So like in November of 23, my cystatin C was 23.
Right.
In October of 24, it was 19. And in December of 24, it was 17. This is when I was still getting off that fenofibrate.
Right.
And then in March, would that be 6 months ago or so? 8 months ago? Yeah. Back in March, it was 24, which was the highest I ever seen.
Yeah, but is that your last test? March,
yes.
So I mean, that's a lot of months. It's almost this. I mean, it's November.
Let's see here. I think I had a renal panel. I haven't put it on the spreadsheet yet. I had one. What went 4 months ago, I think. November. So I had one in July, but I didn't do the cystatin C in July. I just
That's
did
what I mean. So you have not had a cystatin C since March.
That's correct. Yes.
So so I guess maybe I'm an eternal optimist. I guess, right? Right, George? I'm a eternal
We know that,
optimist.
Peter. We know that.
I am. I just am. Like I'm always like, oh wow, this guy could go from a stage 4 to a stage 3. Like I'm thinking, and then a year from now, maybe this guy's a 2. I mean, that's how I think. I don't like.
Yeah.
I feel
that would be
the
awesome.
same way with Lainey. Every time you tell, now she's full blown carnivore. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, exactly.
Peter,
I love the way that you and I play off each other when we're moderating in the kilts. It's always sort of I don't know what it is, but we seem to sort of end up in the dealing with the same person.
Well, that's what. Remember when I said to you, George? I said, "Is Lainey?" You said, "I said, is Lainey now a carnivore?" Am I hearing you correctly? Because the last I heard, she was still doing like keto or ketovore, and you said, "Well, she's mostly carnivore now." I'm like, "Really?" So, this is big news because she needs to be carnivore, George. You and I both know that she does.
Yeah. Can I? I'm going to read you a little exchange last night, which I found on my channel, which he took over the other day. Where is it? Just bear with me a second, guys.
While you look that up, the reason I say not likely is because of patterns. Because in February of in November of 23, my cystatin C, the EGFR was 23. Right. And so 6 months ago, or back in March of this year, it was 24. So that's not something to write a book about. That just moved a point.
Yeah, but hold on. Let me go back to my positive. Let me go back. Hold on a second.
That's 2.5 years of carnivore.
You were 2.5 years carnivore in 2023?
No, that was in 2023. I would have been 6 months carnivore when I had that first reading.
So you have no idea. You were brand new carnivore. You were still coming out of like the horrific SAD diet only 6 months in, right? I mean, I'm just right.
That's true, but last March I was 2 years carnivore.
Right, but you're still recovering from those drugs. So that terrible drug that what I mean?
Yes.
So my point is, maybe if I'm wrong, okay, curse me if I'm wrong, right? Maybe you can turn around the effects of that drug more than you think with carnivore. No one knows, okay? Nobody knows. You know why? Nobody has ever been in your situation on that drug and been doing like really hardcore carnivore. So they say, oh, you can't come back from it. It's irreversible. Once that damage is done. I refuse to believe that. I'm sorry. I just do. I refuse to believe it.
So, yeah, I think the majority of people with kidney disease actually can recover some kidney function.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not 100% sure about mine because mine was tanked with the pharmaceuticals I took for ulcerative colitis for over a decade.
Like I said, no one knows.
I believe I can recover, but I believe for me, it's going to be a slow process versus someone else like Jonathan in the chat who's gone from stage 3B to stage 2 in a matter of months.
I don't know. I still don't know. I think it's going to be better than you think. I think you're going to get the cystatin C. I'll bet you it's going to be over 30. Okay. I'll bet you. What can we bet? What can we bet? Hold on. George, we have to have a bet here. Come on. Think about something. I need a bet from across the pond. I need a bet. Okay. If his cystatin is over 30. Hold on.
Go on.
Amy. If his cystatin C is yes. Listen.
Do not bring me into this.
I'm bringing you in, Amy. Because you're creative in your thought process. I just need a bet. I need something. Oh, Bob does not have a carnivore Avenger. So Amy's gonna make. If you're over 30, here's what
I've been promised one. I just have to give a photograph to her.
Hold on. Here's what we're gonna do, Amy. He does not get a carnivore Avenger unless if he is over 30. If his cystatin is 30 or higher, It could be 30.000 or higher. Okay, he's got to hit a 3, first digit 3. If he hits 30, hold on. If he hits 30, he gets a Carnivore Avenger and a song. He gets one of those rock songs, right, George?
I can't control any of this.
I know what the Carnivore Avengers are, Pete. Believe me.
Well, I saw you the Good Enough twins. I just saw that one, right? They're good enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm changing the subject for a second. What's your favorite genre of music? I need to know because I'm making you a song.
Who?
Peter,
Bob.
I think.
No, Bob.
Peter.
No, it's Bob's
Peter.
choice.
No, Peter.
Mine?
I need. Yeah, your T-Bone Titan needs a song, and I'm making a song.
Oh, really? Do like Bon Jovi, like Bon Jovi or something, like
Okay,
like that.
so like 80s, like hair rock.
Yeah,
okay,
like
perfect.
or REO Speedwagon.
Okay, that's a little
like-
soft.
That's
a little.
Or
That's
Foreigner,
a little soft.
or like Foreigner, like Foreigners. Like
No, you want. I want to know what love is for your like big T-Bone Titan guy.
Yeah,
I feel like it needs a little bit more hardcore than that.
Or no, like Roll with the Changes.
You need something.
No, like REO Speedwagon, Roll with the Changes. Go play that song. Go play. That's what I want. Something like that. Do you know REO Speedwagon?
I love REO Speedwagon.
Okay, check out.
Have you seen your Avenger? He's like
keep on rolling, keep on rolling. Ah, right?
Okay.
You know that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, that's something like that. Like really, like fist pumping.
Okay.
Now for Bob, we need to get. If he gets a 30, come on, this is easy. He had a 24. We're talking since March.
I can't control this.
You were 20.
If I get over, I get a Carnivore Avenger anyway.
If you
get over 30, then my Carnivore Avenger needs to be the most powerful of the Carnivore Avengers.
Yeah, he's gonna be like Kidney
Mine
Man.
will be the leader.
Like Kidney Man.
Kidney Man.
Kidney Man. Right? He eats kidneys and stuff.
I had mentioned Sergeant Sirloin or Sergeant Striploin.
We were talking
before.
about people eating organs.
Sergeant Striploin.
Yeah, dude, you're gonna have you eating kidney.
That's what I'm thinking as well, Amy.
Kidney Man. Like a big kidney on his chest.
Doesn't sound like a good guy. Sounds like I go up to somebody, shove my hand inside their bowels, and rip their organs out and start eating them.
Yes. He's Kidney Man. He is, because he is Kidney Man. That's his whole thing, right? And he eats kidneys and he rips them out of and he eats them whole. Kidney Man. Right? Kidney Man.
What's your superpower?
No, it's better. No.
What's your superpower? I eat the kidneys of my enemies.
No, he's the Kidney Kid. He's the Kidney Kid. Yes,
I'm the Kidney Kid.
Kidney Kid. He's the Kidney Kid. We need a kid.
What about the Kidney King? That's scary.
Yes, that's it. The Kidney King. The Kidney King. Yes.
That works. Yeah, that does work. Yeah, Juju agrees as well.
My son. He's like, what on earth did I turn into?
No, hey, what was
your son?
That's my son. Yeah.
Wait a minute. So what happened?
You can hear me in the other room. He's probably like, why are they getting loud in there?
Yeah. Bob, hold on a second. I want to ask you a question. What happens in terms of the CKD chart if you go up into the 30s? What is your level of CKD?
I have to check that. If I get into the 30s, that might be 3B. Let me look.
Wait a minute. What did I say? I said he could go from a 4 to a 3. I didn't say which 3. Right, George? Didn't I just say a 3? A 4 to a 3.
I'm double checking.
Hold on, I gotta know.
Yeah, so stage 3. It'd be stage 3B. Stage 3 is 30 to 59.
30.
I think 30 to 45 is 3B, and 45 to 59 is 3A.
Okay, 30. It puts him into 3B. Okay, there we go. And then we got the Kidney King, Kidney Kid, Kidney Man, Kidney something. Amy, you come up with it.
Are we talking about Bob still? Because both Juju
Well,
and
hold on.
Donna
But
Ray
Bob,
have
Bob has to pick a genre of song for Kidney Man. Like, what's your
Kidney
what's
King.
your music?
Yeah.
What's your music?
All right, I already talked about my favorite band, my favorite artist being Mike Patton, and my favorite band being Faith No More.
Oh, you got to do a Faith No More.
It's
Yeah,
90s
Faith No More.
rock,
90s.
new 90s alt
90s
rock, new
banging.
metal.
Yeah, banging
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
I'd have to
What
give you
about
an
9
example.
Inch Nails? What about 9 Inch Nails?
9 Inch Nails is good. I was a fan. Yes.
9 Inch Nails. Amy, you're on mute.
Surprise.
Mute. Oh, what?
Peter, do you listen to 9 Inch Nails?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I love all that shit. I like all kinds of stuff. I like a lot of stuff. You know what my favorite band is of all time? The Grateful Dead. I'm a Deadhead.
Mm-hmm.
My first Grateful Dead show was in 1976. I was 14.
All my ties are called Jerry Garcia ties. And
Yeah,
they're
I
actually-
have
because
some.
he was a
I have
painter.
couple. Yeah,
and
I have a
all
couple.
the ties are like cross sections of his paintings that he did.
Yeah, I have some.
Yeah. Donna Ray says, I did a 24-hour urine test for arsenic a few years ago. I had been eating a lot of shrimp, and my mother thought that my husband was trying to poison me. And then Bill asks this for Peter. How did you get rid of most of your tinnitus?
I just ate meat.
So just carnivore diet. Okay.
Clean carnivore, man. Mostly beef and eggs and butter and bacon. You know, some bacon and
You
some
you do any
chicken.
organs?
Yeah, I do a lot of liver. Mostly
Uh-huh.
like I do some liver. Like liverwurst, chopped liver, like deli chopped liver. You know, whatever pate. Braunschweiger. I like Braunschweiger.
And so we talked about earlier that therapeutic dose of B12 is supposed to help, and you would have that in liver. So you'd be getting.
I eat a lot. I eat
extra
probably
amount.
more. I probably eat more liver than I'm supposed to eat.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Sorry, I didn't mean to jolt the community here with all
Oh,
my
that's okay.
craziness. But hey, what if I'm right? What if I'm right?
Well, I'll tell you what. If you're right, then I will have you on more often predicting my future, because that'll be great.
Hold on. Will you take some more coaching advice from me, even though I'm not officially a coach? Because I've helped a lot of people. Ask Donna Bacon, right? Ask Donna Bacon Runner. I've helped her. Ask Thomas. Actually, the program that Thomas is on right now through Steak and Butter Gang, that they're doing a trial with him. Before he went on that, I was helping him with a very similar program, and I wanted to be more aggressive, but I'm not a doctor in how I was helping him with his diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
And lo and behold, he goes on to them, and they've got him not taking insulin way higher than I was going to recommend him not taking insulin. So I was on the right path. To make a long story short, if you ask Thomas, he'll tell you that my advice was right on the money. In fact, I was more conservative than what they've got him on now with this steak and butter program, the way they're doing it, and letting his blood sugars go even higher before he starts taking insulin, like 200 or 230 before he starts taking. I told him to do 170, and don't take insulin until you get to more like 170. I was going to tell him 180. But I just said, okay, 170, and then he got a little scared and was like, well, maybe I'll just do 155 or 160. But they have him going to like 200 to 230 in this test program, before he takes insulin to try and, get insulin sensitive again.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm telling you, man, my coaching is pretty spot on.
And Donna Ray says, yes, Peter has helped me, and I've seen him help others also. Believe him.
It's true. Listen, there's nobody other than maybe Rick who is on more carnivore channels and chats. Name one, maybe George. but there's very few, right, George, that are, complete junkies like us who just live on these channels, and you soak up so much information watching all these videos. It's not only just like being in the chat, but I watch a lot of videos too, just actual standalone videos on Carnivore. And you pick up a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I've heard, a lot.
Talking about being addicted to it, this brings me back to the point I was going to make about Lainey, because when I first joined the community, she was afraid that I was joining a cult, and she was really very wanting to keep the community at arm's length. And then we sort of went through where she accepted the fact that I was a carnivore. She realized that wasn't going to be a problem. But until recently, she felt that basically my involvement was kind of taking me away from her. And it was like either or, and she wanted to spend more time with me, or she wanted me to spend more time away from with her. But I don't know what's happened, but since she's changed to this new drug that she's on, her mindset has changed as well. And she's now totally on board. She's now helping me with the channel, and she's met Amy, she's met Erin, and various, and Juliet, and Peter, and people like that. And
well, you know what happened?
She's totally hang on a second, Peter. I'm just building up to this big one.
Yeah.
It's like she did her own broadcast on my channel the other night, and she got this reply from a little known channel called Homestead How.
Oh.
And the comment was, "You go, Lainey. So happy to hear your positive updates. Mindset is so important. Great progress." And this is her reply without me prompting it. She said, "Kerry, the Carnivore family has been such an inspiration to me. So kind and caring, probably above all else, they make me laugh. They have a fantastic sense of humor mixed with the serious side of health. I love everyone in it." And that was from Lainey without me prompting her. So
guess what happened?
That's been a complete turnaround. Yeah, go on, Pete.
Yeah, George, I hate to tell you this. She's a member of the cult.
She is. Yeah, she actually said that the other day.
That's what just happened. That's what just happened.
I know, because like, actually I was doing Carnival Sunday School and with Steph the other day.
Yeah.
And basically I said about when Lady said it was a cult, and then I said, but she's now totally on board with it. And Steph said, "Lainey, you've joined the cult." And she said,
You
yes.
know what? You know who else? You know who else got indoctrinated into the cult? And she's sitting here right now on this channel right now. She looks like a ghost. She's very white.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
Glasses and red hair, and she's sitting right above you, George, in the screen above you.
I think this conversation came last night with Lewis, didn't it? I do remember that.
She was not sold in the beginning. She was like, "I'll try it. I mean, I've done keto, but my energy and my joints hurt, and they still hurt." How are your joints now, Amy? You're on mute.
Mute. Headset.
Not on mute.
Oh, there
it's my headset. Yeah. It's my headset.
But right, energy's back. Right, energy's good.
Energy's good, but I think my knees aren't hurting because I'm taking some ibuprofen and acetaminophen, alternating for the pain for after my surgery. And anytime I take that, my knees feel great. Like that takes care of it, right?
Yeah. But energy's back. You had your surgery. Now, if you just kind of let it go and do your thing, I think that pain in your knees is going to go away.
What about the weight gain?
Well, you know what? You may need to scale back on the fat a little bit. You know what I mean?
That's what I did. Yeah, I've been tracking my food.
Yeah, you're going to have to listen, not everyone's like Papa Carnivore who eats butter with every bite of steak. And I do the fatty coffee deluxe like crazy. I mean, I must be at least 80% fat, at least. I'm telling you. And even then, sometimes I struggle with hard stools, even with as much fat as I eat. This yogurt thing that I started, I had to stop the yogurt. It gave me it backed me up. I can't do it. I love it. But first of all, I'm addicted to it. I get it. It's got the queso morphines or something in there. What is it, George? In that yogurt, it's so good.
Queso morphines. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I can't. And then I have to add some berries. Then before you know it, I'm Mr. Berryman. So I have to just, I just took it out. I stopped. I'm out. I'm
Peter,
back to
Peter,
just, yeah.
can I tell you a story about me and Amy? Because I didn't know who Amy was, to be perfectly honest with you, on YouTube anyway. And then I sort of discovered her via, I think it was probably a keto cookout or something, and I can't remember. And then Juliet said, "Oh, you should go and sub to Amy's channel." So I did. And then I sort of got a good view of who Amy was. And I suddenly realized that Amy and myself had been friends on Facebook for about 3 months previous to us actually subbing to each other. Yeah.
No way.
We were carnivore friends on Facebook, but we had no idea that who we were in terms of, who we were on. I had no idea that she was rocking Coach Amy or Keto.
Get out of you! Are you serious? That's so great.
We've been friends on Facebook for about 3 months before we discovered each other on YouTube, which is a bit weird, but anyway, it's a true story.
So wait a minute, I'm going to give you one more story. Speaking of Homestead How, Carrie and I are good friends, right? We also are like twins, carnivore twins.
Because the 100-pound club, yeah.
Well, but we also, our big thing, me and Carrie, was really bad depression. I had bipolar depression and anxiety, ADHD, like some serious stuff, George. Okay. And Carrie, I mean, we're talking suicidal depression kind of stuff. Okay. Bad news. And so in addition to the heavy duty, high blood pressure and all the others, all the weight loss and all that. Yeah. And we both were on omeprazole for terrible acid reflux, me and Carrie, for over a decade, both of us. And that went away for me in like 3 weeks. Like that was just gone. Now I didn't have the ulcerative colitis, but I had terrible IBS. I had hemorrhoid surgery in 2002. I had a full rosetta, which was all the way around, horrific. I'm talking like some of the worst he'd ever seen in his life. And that was from, just the diet is straining and everything else. And what had happened in 2002 is I started Atkins. Okay. And I did this same kind of almost carnivore type high meat, but I did it without the fat. So, how much fat it takes for me. Okay. So imagine me doing low fat, essentially keto carnivore, whatever. It literally blew out my butthole. Okay. Because I had no fat. Okay. My butthole was like an explosion of butthole. Okay.
It's like that.
And I had
almost
literally
like a prolapse,
for surgery. It was Easter Sunday, horrible, 2002. And I was at a friend's house at the beach down in Texas at Galveston. Okay. And we drove back and it was the worst drive back was it that Sunday or maybe it was Monday? I literally, my ex-wife took me right to the hospital. I said, get me to the hospital because I couldn't even sit on it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they scheduled me for surgery that next morning. I stayed overnight. They scheduled me next morning for surgery and I had a full hemorrhoidectomy where they, the whole thing all the way. And I'm telling you, I'd never been in so much pain. Even afterwards, I was out of work for a week. And I'm telling you, when I passed my first stool after that, it was worse than having 10 babies at once through my butthole. Okay. It was so bad, Amy. It was like passing a Martian through my ass. Okay. It was so bad. It was so bad. Oh my God. I was sweating and I was, oh my God. It was so horrible. I mean, it was horrible, but it was just horrible. It was horrible. It took 4 days or 5 days for me to have my first poop and it was horrible. I needed some of Rick's strawberry poop gas explosion to help me, move things along. But yeah, so that's all gone. Now, George, I'm sure it's the same for you guys, right? It's perfect poops. right? No
Yeah,
problems.
very much so. Yeah.
Like nothing. Like it's absolute. But I will tell you, that's why, Amy, I'm sorry. Let's go back full circle to your question. Yes, Amy, you're going to have to cut back on the fat. You're different than me, you know? And there's a lot of people who can't hardly eat a lot of fat or they'll have diarrhea, like John Beatty Art. You know, John Beatty Art, you know, he's in a lot of the chats on, but anyway, he can't do it. He can't do the higher fat. If he tries to up his fat, he's on the toilet. So you got to
See,
watch that.
I never was on the toilet. I'm just if I up my fat, I gain weight. But I do want one thing.
Yeah.
I want to have an eating contest with all of these people out here who think they can eat more than anyone else.
So
And
you're
I
like,
want to see
you,
I want
you,
to see
you
if I
know
can
who
win
you're
it.
like? You know who's a volume eater? You know who's a major volume eater? Kelly
Bella?
Hogan. And
Kelly
Hogan
and Bella.
and Bella is a major volume. But look how
But look,
I'm going to tell you
I
something.
don't look like them.
Well, hold on.
Look at me. I don't have skinny little arms. I have fat
Okay,
arms.
but hear me out. Bella, I've seen Bella in person, Amy. She's one of the skinniest women I've ever seen who's healthy, but she is so skinny. Like her
Here,
waist.
Peter.
Yeah.
She's also what, like 27?
That's true.
And I am a menopausal. I'm going to be 50 in a few months.
Yeah.
I don't have the same hormones as Bella has, unfortunately.
Right.
I'm not that young. Let's just be realistic. The same thing that Dr. Wiedemann is going through.
Okay, hold on. So how much iodine do you take a day?
I take about, I would say, 8 drops of the 2% in my coffee every morning.
Okay, so you know what you know what I'm going to have you do?
Don't tell me to increase it because I think it tastes like crap.
Okay, you're going to need to go up 2 drops. Wait 2 weeks. Well, hold on a minute. Do you put it in your coffee?
Yeah, and it already tastes bad. So
Are you doing Lugol's?
Mm-hmm.
The regular Lugol's 2%?
Yep.
How do you taste it? I don't taste it at all, and I put in
disgusting. I taste it.
Hold on. How do you? I put 15 drops in my coffee and I don't taste it at all.
I don't like. I taste it. I can tell if it's in there.
Really?
But I do it anyway. Yep.
So, but you need to up your iodine, sister. I'm serious.
What is that gonna do? Because I don't feel like the iodine does anything for me. I just do it for breast health. I do it because it helps prevent breast cancer.
If you do you watch Dr. Elizabeth Bright?
Yes, and what she says didn't work. She said eat all those.
The higher iodine though. No,
she said higher fat, and I did that, and I still had hot flashes. Right?
Yeah.
I did this and then guess what? My weight went up. So I don't know. I mean, she sounds like she knows what she's talking about, but my hot flashes didn't go away. She says menopause is a joke. I'm sorry, I don't feel that menopause is a joke, and it's not real. And I'm trying all the things that she said, and the only thing that happened was my pants didn't fit. I mean,
no, but hold on. But in all fairness, Kelly Hogan gained quite a bit of weight in the first 6 or 8 months. She gained a lot of weight. If you go back and listen to her story.
And how old was she, Peter? How old was she when she started carnivore?
Well, she's 45
She's been
now.
carnivore. So she did it 20. She was 25.
She was about 25.
She wasn't 50. She was not 50.
But I know, but she did gain quite a bit of weight, and I'm talking 20, 30 pounds when she first started, but she just stayed with it. And now look at her. She's a freaking waif, and she's 45. She's no spring chicken now. She's 45. Okay. So, now I'm not saying that you have to up the fat. I'm not saying, but she's a volume eater like you. Hear me out. She's a volume eater big time. I mean, she is a volume eater. She says it all the time, how she can eat. But she did experiment a little bit with taking the fat down too, a little bit. And so did Dr. Lisa Wiedemann, had to bring it down a little bit. So I think might be okay to experiment as long as you don't start feeling bad. If you start like lacking energy and if you lower it too much, you're gonna maybe feel bad energy or feel like shit.
Something up. He's like, Amy, you drink like 8 cups a day. Spread out the iodine drops to 2 or 3 drops per cup. This is my cup. Okay, I don't know if you can see it, but it's the size of my head. This is my cup.
Yeah, but you're not drinking that many cups of coffee. 3 or 4 of those giant cups of coffee a day.
Well, 1.5. I drink 1.5 of these, and I put all the iodine in the first one, and I can taste it.
So spread it out. So here's what you do. Spread it out spread half of the iodine in 1 cup and half of the iodine in the second cup.
Problem is the second cup is only half of this.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So if I put a few drops in the half, I'm still going to taste it.
Oh, right.
I mean, I can do it, but how long will it take me to lose weight if I do exactly what you're saying? You tell me your plan is going to make me lose weight in X amount of time. Can you do that?
Well,
because if I'm going to suffer drinking iodine.
Here's what you're going to do. You're going to you're doing 8 drops in the first cup, right? So you're going to keep doing 8 drops in the first cup, but you're going to do 4 in the second.
Well, my second cup of coffee, I cut.
Hold on. You said it's a half.
Hold on.
You said it's a half a cup.
I want at least 1 cup of coffee untainted. Is that possible? That's why I put it all in the first cup so that it tastes like shit, and then the second cup doesn't taste like crap.
No, Amy, just drink more cups.
No.
Yeah, I'm just going to increase the amount of coffee then so I can have at least 1 cup of untainted coffee.
Have you tested your thyroid, Amy?
Okay, so that is what I need to do. That is exactly what I need to do. Bob's onto something. Here's the deal.
Okay.
My thyroid.
Yeah. So you're like if you're the reason iodine might benefit you is if you're iodine deficient, that might lead to hypothyroidism. And then that
I suspect
thyroid regulates your
Hashimoto's.
metabolism.
What?
My sister has Hashimoto's.
Right.
Now, my thyroid's been tested, the normal test, and everything's normal. But Hashimoto's, you cannot detect a normal thyroid test. They have to dig deeper for that.
Isn't there a special test for Hashimoto?
Yeah, and doctors don't run it. I'll have to have it done myself.
So you need to do that then.
Yeah,
it's in this book.
So
yeah,
because iodine plays a key role in that, that thyroid hormone production, and that's in turn going to regulate your metabolism. And so if you're having thyroid issues, that could be directly related to your weight issues.
But I'm not having issues with hair falling out or any of the other symptoms. I'm having symptoms of menopause is what I'm having symptoms of. Hot flashes.
So the hot flashes could be, hormonal. And obviously, I think that's very logical. The iodine, like if your thyroid's fine and you're not iodine deficient, then you could take too much iodine. It's not going to benefit you anyway. Iodine alone is not a weight loss hack, So,
okay.
Yeah.
So why was Peter telling me to take more of it then?
I just wanted you to try an experiment. It's not going to kill you, okay? To try.
No, it's not. No, but
it's only an experiment to do this. Just do this. Do the 8 in your first cup. I know you're going to hate me, but I'm just going to, and do 4 in the half cup. The half cup, do 4. Just do it for 2 weeks and let me know how you feel. It's 2 weeks.
Going to make my pants. I feel great.
It might, but I want to know 1, how you're feeling. Number 2, after 2 weeks, let's just see what happens.
I feel great though.
And I
my problem is my pants don't fit.
Hold on.
I would recommend testing for thyroid and testing for iodine because excessive iodine could also be a problem. So we don't. It's like kind of like vitamin D. You don't want to overdo it, but you might need a big dose to get you back to where you need to be. You just don't know until you run some tests. So.
Listen, when I upped my iodine game, it was game changing. And now I am hypothyroid, but when I upped it from I was only doing 2 or 3 drops, and then I went to 6, then I went to 8, then I went to 10, Then I went to 12. Now I'm at like 15. Okay. It was a game changer for me. That's all I'm saying. Game changer. Huge energy.
Estrogen. How's your estrogen and your progesterone?
Amazing. I feel like a woman.
Are you menopausal?
I feel like
Do you have hot flashes?
So Peter says he was hypothyroid, and if you look online, the directions for Lugol's iodine, the 2.5% solution, it'll say take 3 to 5 drops 3 times daily.
It's a day. Okay.
So we are talking 12 to 15 drops is what they want you to have.
I may have to put it in water. I can't ruin my coffee anymore.
Okay, then put it in water. Do whatever you got to do. Just get it down. Just get it down. And then have some beautiful coffee without any iodine in it. Okay, and have a wonderful fatty coffee deluxe or whatever you want.
So 8 plus 3, so 11 drops.
Well,
and that falls under the daily recommendations of 3 to 5 drops 3 times.
I would
daily.
say 11 to 12 drops. Just try that.
Okay.
And just
for 2 weeks.
Yes.
And what's
helps? See if it helps with the hot flashes. See if it helps.
Oh, that's okay.
That's
so that's what you're saying. It's going to do is get rid of my hot flashes.
That's what I think. I think the hot flashes is you still aren't at a high enough dose of the iodine for the hot flashes.
Here's the other thing.
Yeah.
It's like 20 degrees out right now here. And my hot flashes are already better because of it's not summer anymore.
Oh.
So we might not know. You know what I'm saying? Like they're already better because it's a blizzard.
Well, that's just it's again. I'm giving you
I will do it.
This is my advice, and
I will do it.
You know what? I could be wrong, but it's an innocent thing that's not going to hurt you. I promise you, it's not going to hurt you to do that for 2 weeks. And if I'm wrong, go back to 3 drops if you want.
I said buy new pants. Just buy new pants.
But I think you also are right in lowering the fat down a little bit because I think
I have
your body,
to right now. Right now I do. Maybe in the future I can taper it up slowly, but right now I can't do it. Sardines, yummy.
You know, sardines actually can really help a lot.
Okay. So can I do the 8 drops and then a can of sardines instead?
I don't know.
That's
sardines are yummy.
Have to look up how much iodine is sardines.
Sardines. You have to find out. I don't know what the equivalent would be. Yeah.
Bill says he puts Lugol's on his eggs.
Yeah, that's another way people do it. They put it in the eggs.
Yeah. Jamet asks, how am I doing this evening? I turned 50. So
Amy, do you eat scrambled eggs? Amy, do you eat scrambled eggs?
Yes, I do.
Try and put the iodine in the scrambled eggs before you cook them. Like just beat them in there, beat it in there. Just try it. What if you can't taste it?
I'd rather eat liver. Can I just eat liver instead? I'd rather do that.
Man,
is there iodine in liver?
I don't even taste the iodine in my coffee at all. Zero.
It's gotta. So, have you guys ever tried those drops? They're made by they're made by Keto Chow, but they're mineral drops.
Yeah.
And Dr. Barry helped design those.
Yeah.
That's another thing that's disgusto. But I did drink a glass of water with them in there because it has selenium and a few other things. And I'm like, they've sent it.
That stuff's
sent
gross.
it to me.
That's gross.
That's how I feel about iodine.
Oh.
It's like, I don't know. It's got a funny taste. And a metallic taste almost.
George is enjoying this. George.
Yeah, guys, I'm just going to bail out. Actually, it's actually reached 4:00 in the morning over here, and
I got to bail too.
It's Veterans Day tomorrow, and I've got to be on parade at 11 o'clock my time. In 7 hours, I've actually got to be on parade.
Right.
So yeah, it's the 11th hour of the 11th month of the 11th hour, 11th day of the 11th month. So yeah, I've got to get up in 6 hours.
George, you'll have to tune in later to see if Amy listened to me or not.
No, but Amy and I we've got our own reasons for talking pretty much daily now because she's about to release a new Avenger.
Carnivore Avenger.
Yeah, new Carnivore Avenger. And also we have a shared interest in horse racing as well. So it's we've got some good excuses for talking to each other quite a lot. So yeah, she wants me to go to the Kentucky Derby with her apparently, which I'm very much looking forward to. But
You should go.
Win some money first. Yeah,
that's the biggest race of them all.
It certainly is. Well, yeah, the run for the roses, absolutely. So it's.
I've never been to the Derby. I've only been to Derby parties down there.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, I'm just being a bit of poetic license. I'm just saying. Well,
yeah, it would be great.
Okay, deny this then, Amy. Tell me you don't want me to go to the Kentucky Derby with you.
Oh, you need to go to the Derby. It's awesome. Even the parties down there are crazy.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is that you want me to go with you, don't you? Because you would like to come. I would hope. Yeah, we could. Yeah, it would be good fun. So, how far away do you live from the track?
In Louisville, so 5 hours.
Okay, that's not too far, really.
That's not that far.
That's what it takes me to get to Liverpool for the Grand National over here. So it's not too far away.
Yeah, it's about 5 hours. It's doable.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Right. Anyway, as I said, I've got to get my uniform back on for tomorrow. Well, when I get up anyway, but I'm going to get 6 hours sleep now, and then hopefully get 6 hours sleep, and then I've got to get up and get on parade. So I will see you. I won't see you obviously in kilts tomorrow because the parade clashes with kilts. However, I definitely will see you in kilts on Wednesday, Amy. So
set my alarm and get up early.
Yeah, well, I'll just be at my usual time. So there we go. Right, I'm now officially tired, so I'm going to say good night, folks.
All right, night, George.
Night, George.
Night, George.
I gotta run too because what's happening?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. I was hearing weird noises. I don't know what. Maybe it's the voices in my head. I don't know.
All right. Jason had a question here. Tips for helping go carnivore. Should I go cold turkey or ease into it?
I think it's a personal decision. There are some people that really just are all or nothing people. And yeah, you might have a little more belly discomfort, or whatever, bathroom issues if you go straight hardcore. I went keto first, like Amy. And I'm glad I did it that way because it helped me. I didn't have a lot of issues. So for me, for most people, I would say maybe first take out the sugar, then ease in by maybe taking out the bread and the rice and the grains, and then processed foods and stuff like that. And then the last thing you take out, would be like some of the fruits and vegetables last.
And I would completely agree with Peter here. So the difference is if you're the baptism by fire kind of guy,
yeah,
or if you're worried about the keto flu, if you're worried about the keto flu, and I'll put that in air quotes. Let me change the view here. Keto flu. It's not really the flu, but you'll either have constipation or diarrhea, or alternate back and forth for it could be 6 to 8 weeks if you go cold turkey. Some people, they're fine with that, and they want results right away, and so they go cold turkey. And yeah, you might not have a stool for a week, and then when you do have a stool, it might be like turning on the faucet, or it might, you might think that you're constipated. You're not really. It's just because you're used to going multiple times a day. Your first thing you think is like, oh my gosh, I'm constipated, and that's really not the case. But all that can be avoided. The keto flu can be avoided if you ease into it. So if you start with low carb, 100 grams or less, and then go to 50 grams or less, and especially eliminate the processed foods. Like you said, sugar's number 1, grains are number 2, and then fruits would be the third thing to go. And then finally, your low carb cruciferous vegetables would be the last to go. If you do that, let's say you make a change every a week, do it in week stages or every 2 week stages, and become carnivore over the course of 2 months, then you're going to ease your keto flu symptoms. So the keto flu doesn't have to be a thing, but then also at the same time that your results might not show up as fast as you would like them to. Some people like to go cold turkey. They get results right away, and then that motivates them to stick to it.
Amy was keto for how many years?
There's always no sound and for a couple seconds until you start talking.
So I should probably just mute from here. So 8 years, but I think if you go by some people's definitions of carnivore, I probably was carnivore for part of that time. I called it ketovore just so the carnivore community wouldn't
That's
jump
carnivore.
on my.
There is no
Yeah.
ketovore. I hate to tell you, because I'm a ketovore because like I'm 90%, call it 90%. I'm a
Yeah.
carnivore, but I mean, I'm not. There's so few people out there, guys, that are really like strict 100%. Kerry's one of them. Okay, he is. Kerry is strict 100%. Mitch usually, old guy carnivore, but there's very few that are that tight. Like I sometimes have a little pickles or a little,
I haven't
I'm
done
not
any of that.
Huh?
I haven't done any of that since July.
Oh wow.
No, the only thing that I've done is I added cheese back in since my surgery because
That's
they screwed
carnivore.
me up. Yeah, they
Yeah.
screwed me up but I'm trying not to do cheese, but I'll be honest with you, they screwed me up with that glucose bag really bad. And they
Well,
gave
Amy,
me applesauce and a cheese stick at the hospital, and then once they gave me that cheese stick, it's game over. But I'm
Okay,
not
so-
eating a ton of cheese.
Okay, but remember you said you were gaining weight. How much of that is because you added cheese back?
0.
Oh, okay.
I gained it all before I added cheese back.
Okay.
I've been
Yeah.
stable since I started cutting my fat down. So a
Yeah.
cheese stick here or there, I don't think is doing it. It's not like I'm eating a half a block like I used to do.
Wow.
Yeah, so I've been moderating it.
And Donna says, I'm 68 and lose weight on carnivore unless I eat a ton of protein and a little bit less fat. And yeah, I'm the same way. If I just eat the fat that naturally comes with the meat, so
See,
like
Donna's the opposite of you, Amy. She's losing, like she's trying to gain weight, and I told her go get some whole milk. Milk. Think about what milk is. Milk is for baby mammals to rapidly grow and gain weight, right? So she might get benefit, and I've asked, like Dr. Berry says this all the time for the carnivores or keto people that are underweight to drink milk. You can even have cheese as well. Those are the things that will help you put on weight as long as you can tolerate the dairy. I think she's lactose intolerant, but there are things called lactate pills. Like I used to take lactate, those little pills.
Yeah.
But you know what? I used to be terribly lactose intolerant before carnivore. That's another thing I got to put on my list because I can do dairy and I used to be just terrible gas and stuff. I don't have any of that anymore. For some reason, the carnivore cured my lactose intolerance. It's really weird.
Donna says, I eat way more than my 190-pound husband and still I'm barely holding on to my weight. So yeah.
Isn't that? But she needs to drink. Donna, you need to please get a big giant gallon jug of whole milk and start drinking that shit. And get some lactate pills if you're lactose intolerant. Get some lactate. You can buy it at Costco, the Kirkland brand. That's what I used to buy because it's way cheaper than the real lactate.
Jason says, I've been off and on keto following Maria Emmerich's advice, but it's rubbing me the wrong way seeing how emaciated she looks. Going to try carnivore and see how it goes. So I will just say this about Maria Emmerich. She has, and she's openly admitted to having bulimia and other eating disorders too that have since before her diet that's carried over even after her diet. So part of that has to do with some of those disorders. It doesn't. It's not. She doesn't become emaciated because of keto alone. It's not like you eat a keto diet and you turn.
Can I tell you? What I fear is I had a very good friend who was bulimic. It was a friend of my ex-wife's. Very good friend of my ex-wife. And she told people, "Oh, I'm not bulimic anymore. I don't do that anymore." And you know what? Later in life, she admitted she was lying.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that she wasn't telling the truth. She was saying, I don't do that anymore. And she was still purging, like really bad. So, despite what Maria says, I hope it's not the case. But looking at how she looks, I fear that she still is purging. I really fear, you know, or that she's just anorexic, one of the two, whether it's bulimia or anorexia. But she, even the way she talks, because I remember how this friend of ours talked, she talks just the same way. And she, it's sad because she's so smart and she gives such great advice, but I don't agree with some of her advice still, you know.
She openly admits to bulimia and anorexia,
Yeah.
and you know, she used to overeat and then so made a direct effort to not eat, you know, so part of her issues is just her own self-image. So if you don't have those kind of like mental views of yourself, you're probably not going to, and you're not going to look like Maria Emmerich. So, you know, our mantra in carnivore, and I believe this is for keto too, or anywhere on the proper human diet spectrum: if you're hungry, eat. If you're not hungry, don't. You know, and someone like her, you know, got hungry and ate the bare minimum to put off the hunger, or got hungry and chose not to eat. You know, so that's how you get into positions like that. So she's got good advice, good recipes. There is pretty much in harmony with most of your keto carnivore influencers, with very little disagreement. There's some disagreement. Her and Dr. Barry butt heads once in a while over certain things. She talks about a personal fat threshold that Dr. Barry says is a bunch of hogwash. So,
well, and I got to tell you something.
It's
I'm going to
not.
side with.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, yeah. I mean, you and I, Amy, are going to disagree a little bit here, but I'm more on the higher fat. But I realize that there are people that it doesn't work as well for. So you have to experiment, right, Amy? I think it's
Yeah.
an experiment.
Well, and
It is an experiment.
that's what she says. She says some people
Yeah,
can't do higher fat. When they
it's true.
do, they gain weight.
Or yeah. So for me, when I tried the lower fat, that's when I got that hemorrhoid. That I'm telling you, it was horrific for me when I tried the, you know, higher protein, lower fat. I was doing
So,
that. It was a
so
disaster.
for
Yeah.
you, it works. For
Yes.
me, I never had that problem. Like,
Right.
and I don't have a problem with diarrhea when I eat high fat either. My problem's not
It's the
eating
weight
too much
gain.
fat.
It's the
It's
weight
the
gain.
weight gain.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
So I don't know what Maria means by personal fat threshold, because I don't listen to her enough to know what that actually means. I just remember watching a video where the two of them kind of got in a little scrap about it.
Well, the other thing, Amy, the other thing, Amy, I know you're, you know, overcoming the surgery and stuff, but when you can, if you start just walking, you don't have to do like rapid
Yeah.
walk. Just the more steps you can get in, you know, just it doesn't matter what the pace is. Start slow, whatever you can handle. You don't have to do fast walking, okay? Now, as you get healthier and your knees feel better and you feel your stomach, you know, your hernia feels better, if you can pick up the pace, go longer distance, but just start walking. I'm telling you, the thing that helped me to lose weight the most was just is walking. You know, I'm a maniac with walking, and now with my new job, this store is like 120,000 square feet. I walk 4 to 5 miles at work, and I probably walk 4 miles before work. So I mean, I'm doing.
Ride a bike. I can't ride a bike.
You don't have
I
to
can
ride.
ride.
Just walk.
I can ride a
Walk.
stationary bike, but riding a bicycle outside is not safe for me.
Will you? So do you have a stationary bike inside?
Not anymore.
I wonder how much one costs to buy on Amazon.
Well, I had a Peloton, but I was housing it for someone else. But I'm not dropping $3,000 on a
No.
Peloton.
I think if you look on
You can get Amazon. You can get them for a few $100s.
now,
A decent
also
one.
Thomas, I was shopping with Thomas. We were shopping, and on Amazon they have these walking pads, but they actually have these treadmills. They're like fold up treadmills.
I have a Nordic Track. I have a Nordic Track treadmill.
Where
I
you
just
can
can't do it right now.
But I
I have
mean,
a treadmill.
there are treadmills where you can just do indoor walking essentially, and they even have one that has the handles that you can hold on to. That Thomas
I have,
one. Yeah.
yeah, I have a big treadmill, like a full size, and you can fold it up, but it's a big Nordic track. It's like a
Oh,
expensive one.
yeah.
So I just can't do it right now
Okay.
because I'm having pain
Yeah.
enough just walking around my house and doing everyday tasks that I have to take ibuprofen. So I'm like, as long as I'm having pain,
Mhm.
probably getting on the treadmill at this point is not a good idea.
But like I said, when you're ready, caveat everything I say is when you're ready, when you're feeling better, that's going to help you lose weight. I'm just telling you, it really will, and you'll feel better too. When you're ready. Yeah, that'll help.
Lexa
It also
says
helps
hi.
with my anxiety, relieving anxiety.
So I wanted to say hi to Lexus. She was.
Oh, look who's like Lexi. Speaking of anxiety, hi Lexi. She has that.
Yeah. Yeah, she was on last week, doing very well, very chipper. Jason says, "Are there any free groups?" And I answered this in the chat out there to join.
There's
With
a lot of
like-minded meatheads, I don't have the funds to pay right now. So first and foremost, of course, we have our community, carnivoretalk.com, absolutely free.
Yes, right.
And then
here.
there's also Kilt's Mighty Tribe has a
On Monday night.
tier. Well, they have a group too where you can just type, make posts. It's very scrolls like Facebook. They call it it's called Mighty Networks. So that's why they call it the Mighty Tribe.
Yep.
And then there's also Reddit groups that are available out there for free as well. So, and then outside of that, you can bounce around on certain individuals' YouTube channels. But then all your other main groups are behind paid walls. So paywalls, that's what they're called. So those are some suggestions for your freebies. So Carnivore Talk, Kilt's Mighty Tribe, and then the Reddit groups. And so that's all I can think of, because then all the other ones are usually some sort of, healinghumanity.life. That's a paid membership. The Steak and Butter Gang, that's a paid membership. Dr. Barry's group's a paid membership. So most of them are, most of them, a lot of the big communities are paid memberships. So, but you can get just as good information from the other ones too. Though usually the benefits of the paid memberships is direct access to that influencer or their coaches. So let's see here. And then Rick says any group that charges to belong is not a good choice. So, all right. Yeah. Plenty of free information out there. All right. It's 11:17.
Yeah, I gotta go. It's time for bed.
Okay.
I'm ready to call it a night.
Night. Thank you, Bob. Night, Peter. Thank you.
Yeah. Good night. I'm going to say my goodbyes and then we'll go off the air here. And, all right. So yeah, thanks for joining us and hanging out this long. Everybody who's in the chat. Thanks for everyone who was on the screen. I didn't count how many did we, I think we had up to 7 at one point. I don't know. Was anybody counting? I'd have to go back and rewatch it. But thanks for hanging with us. It was fun as usual. It's fun when we go beyond 2.5, 3 hours. So, but I do got to call it. I am tired as well. So until next time, we'll see you next Monday night. And of course, throughout the week over on carnivoretalk.com. Again, thank you very much. Have a good night. Peace out.